Technical difficulties. Good evening and welcome back to the Tales on Tap. Happy New Year, guys. We hope that you had a wonderful Christmas break and a wonderful New Year. But yeah, welcome back to Tales on Tap, a place where good friends get together and share stories about little owling folk stealing from shops they probably shouldn't be in. So, welcome back. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but we're back. We're going to be back live every week going forward for the foreseeable. It's lovely to see you all. Let's get everyone else in. Hello, everyone else.
Hello.
Hello.
That whole owling thing happens a lot. It's a lot more of a common theme than we.
Weird.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think that should just be. I think that should just be my intro, like every time. Just be like, "Ow."
Yeah.
So, yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. We had a little bit of a break last week. We had a week off just to kind of rejuvenate after the Christmas period and after December, and to celebrate New Year with our families and things. So, we're sorry that we missed you last week.
Is that what we did?
We did. I definitely rejuvenated, mate.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, I definitely rejuvenated. I did. So before we get into tonight's episode, we've got some important announcements to kind of get through before we actually get into tonight's session. Before I do that, can I get Evan and Steve? Could you both roll me a d20, please? Because we're going to find out who's doing the recap next week.
Who's it going to be?
14.
2.
Oh!
I love that. Like, ooh, 2.
That look of it's close.
I know. Okay,
Yes,
Evan,
sir.
if you can make notes for me tonight, and you'll, Michael will be doing the recap for us next week. Excellent.
I will try my best.
Thank you so much. So, before we get into tonight's session, if you guys haven't already, I want you to go over to our Facebook page and our Instagram page, and I want you to hit that follow button. We are going to be updating those more regularly. In the coming weeks, we've kind of been a bit lackadaisical on the Facebook and the Instagram side of things, but YouTube's still getting updated daily, so if you want to go over there and subscribe to the channel over there, you're gonna get lots of clips and stuff. So yeah, make sure you subscribe
TikTok.
to all the socials. Oh, and TikTok as well. We do that too, yeah.
But we promise it's not a New Year's thing. It's not like a New Year's vow, so we won't be halfway through this.
Yeah, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. So we have some really big news for you guys. We have been working quite hard in the past couple of months, and we had. Oh, that's weird.
That's not what we're working hard
Well,
on.
whoever
No.
pressed pause on the music, it pauses it for everyone. So don't do that.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
So, yeah, we've been working
You look
really
so
hard.
guilty.
Really hard over the last couple of months, and we have been working hard on a roadmap for 2023 and what that kind of looks like. One thing that we are going to be doing, which is going to be launching in February, is something quite cool. Why don't you why don't you take a look? That's right. We are going to space. We're going to space. We have a Spelljammer mini adventure coming up from February 9th, and that's going to be DM'd by our lovely Hannah. I don't know why I pointed
I'm
that way.
gonna be
She's sat
back.
like down here somewhere up over there. So Hannah's going to be DMing that for us, which means I get to play as a player again. It's so exciting. So that's going to be showing on Thursdays. We're going to be moving to 2 days a week, guys. So yeah, very exciting news. We're not just stopping at Spelljammer either. Thursdays is going to become a mainstay for us. We're going to be streaming every Tuesday and every Thursday, starting from February 9th, running right the way through 2023 into 24 and beyond. So we've got some really exciting things like in the pipeline. We've got talk shows that we want to do. We want to do different TTRPGs. There's a whole plethora of different things that we're going to be doing. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. There's some really, really cool and fun, exciting things on the horizon. Something else that I wanted to touch on before we get into tonight's session. The last session we played was our Christmas one-shot, and it was a resounding success. Better than we could have hoped for at the start, and well, until about 2/3 of the way through, and then was completely fucking derailed by these absolute
drunkards.
Yeah. But it was an amazing session, and we just have to say, it was so good that you guys all got on board and were full of high spirits, and it was amazing. And a big thank you to Valkyrie RPG for sponsoring that one shot. It was amazing. It was really, really good. And we kind of took a lot away from that. So kind of leads us on to my next thing, which is that's right. We have been speaking to our lovely friends over at Valkyrie RPG, and we have agreed to go on a long-term partnership. So our lovely friends over at Valkyrie RPG have joined us in this mad adventure, which is Tales on Tap, and they are going to be sponsoring our shows from now on. Not only that, they want to give back to not only us here and the cast here at Tales on Tap, but you guys at home as well. They are offering everyone here at Tales on Tap 10% off store-wide, apart from on their subscription packs, I believe, because they're already discounted anyway. Go check out their website. They've got some amazing products. They're offering 10% off to every Tale on Tap viewer with the code TALES10. If you need that link, there is one down in the doobly-doo, but at checkout, enter the code TALES10 and you'll get 10% off all dice products, everything store-wide. So you'll be a fool not to. So yeah, there we go. And I think that pretty much wraps up the announcements. That's a lot of announcements to get through. So yeah, there we go. So
thank you, Valkyrie RPG.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You guys rule.
So should we play some D&D, guys?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
So, guys, let's get into tonight's session. So, sit back, get yourselves comfortable as we dive into tonight's session of Tales on Tap.
Woohoo!
That was much better. And like the timing of it was so much better. So good. Right, hold on. Recap. So, Clovis, if you could please recap us on what happened in last session.
Sure.
After last session.
Okay.
Well, it's happened. I'm not sure I ever really convinced myself when I swore I'd never return to Baldur's Gate, but even so, coming back hasn't been easy. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We began the morning still sailing the Kyomthar, and as the city loomed in the distance, we discussed plans of action. Ashar mentioned a connection by the name Aldor, a merchant of some description who might be able to get us caravan documentation. He apparently knew her by another name, perhaps Eloise or Astrid. I suppose that's something we have in common. I prepared a few contingencies on the journey, but they're hardly watertight, so Aldor's help seemed like the more reliable option. We opted to disembark before approaching too close to the city so as not to draw any attention, what with the recent activity on the river or lack thereof. Thankfully, our trip through Baldur's Gate needed to be swift, as who knows how far the cult have made it since our delays in Elturel. Along the last leg, we filled in a few blanks for Azrael and Michael of our journey so far, which, thankfully, the Rod of Recollection, which you're watching me on right now, came in handy. I didn't think it would come in handy so soon. Anyway, we joined the road at Norchapel and made our way through the stony eyes towards the Basilisk Gate, where the usual assembly of merchants, porters, and guards had gathered, as they always have. As we passed the shanties, a few information-gathering options were discussed, among them the Blushing Mermaid, which I was rather surprised to learn Feathers had worked at. Cleaning rooms and tables, mind, though it was still a bit of a shock. Who knows what's changed over the past 70 years, though. We decided that Ashar, Michael, and Feathers would try to find this Aldor character, while Jove, Azrael, and I would inquire about the cult's presence in the city at the Shrine of Suffering. Something of an instinctive suggestion on my part, I'll be honest. I just couldn't think of another place or persons in this shithole that would be willing to help those in need, or weary travelers, rather. During our discussions, Jove became distracted by the buzz of commerce gathering outside the walls and began conversing with a mildly crafty-looking character. He purchased a bag of vegetables and, from what I saw, handed over far too much coin for it. I thought to intervene, but, well, some lessons of surviving in civilized society are better learned rather than taught. Plus, he seemed rather enthused about the whole thing, so I didn't want to dampen his spirits. And I'm perhaps not the best person to warn others against the swindles of charlatans. Or perhaps I am. Either way, we made our way through the gate with little bother and onto the cobbled streets of Eastway. I must admit, my recollection of conversations beyond this point are spotty. I was distracting myself from acknowledging our situation. Familiar surroundings can bring up unwanted memories, though I do remember hearing the faint familiar melody of the elf song as we passed. Thankfully, Ashar and Feathers took the lead heading towards Heapside, and we soon split into our designated groups to cover ground more quickly. Before we could make our way to the shrine, however, Jove became distracted by the enticing promise of fresh produce once more. While the rest headed on their way, he made his way into a grocer's by the name of Nana's Kitchen, wherein we met a charming but eccentric old woman who seemed just as keen to sell her daughter as she did to sell her chickens. Still, the distraction wasn't completely fruitless, if you'll pardon the pun. As we picked up some information about the apparent shady dealings of Ash's friend Aldor, as well as a cookbook, some utensils, and a refrigerated bag of holding. I do hope Jove took note of my haggling, but he still doesn't seem to give a shit about money in general. Honorable, some might say, but a little impractical, if you ask me. Outside, Azrael stood muttering over a bundle of apples, and once we reconvened, we made our way to the business at hand. Meanwhile, Ashar, Feathers, and Michael were having an equally fruitful venture. Aldor, while a little shorter on influence and limbs than his former self, was indeed alive and still residing at his home. It seemed he had fallen on harder times, and from what Nana told us, deservedly so. He did, however, assure them that he would be able to pull a few favors and help us with the required documentation if Ash completed another job for him. To recover a debt of 50 gold from a half-orc by the name Kel at the Black Gate. As we made our way to the Shrine of Suffering, we stopped by the Sorcerer's Sundries. Lots of alliteration going on. We stopped by the Sorcerer's Sundries. I hoped to remove the curse from the Periapt we found in the sewers of Elturel, but Cabal, the current proprietor, while devilishly charming, was unable to help. I pursued his wares, but the prices were a little beyond my current means. Some things in this city never seem to change. Azrael did purchase a magical map, though, one that details the locations of selected individuals within a local area. Could be very handy in a pinch, especially if Feathers' friend decides to rear their head again. Ah yes, Feathers. She had another characteristically interesting day. We bumped into her and the others as we were leaving the shop, and as we updated each other on the progress of our days, Feathers masked her appearance into that of an old lady and entered the shop. Not a few moments later, a siren let out, and we saw Feathers disappear from the doorway. Asha rushed in to try and solve the issue and get her out, but Cabal did not take her words for truth. I hoped some of the old man's tricks still worked, and I changed my appearance into that of a member of the Lord's Alliance, before making my way inside to claim custody of our newly imprisoned friend. Thankfully, the local constabulary were just as brash and impatient as I remembered. With Feathers freed, and after a brief reprimand from Jove and Azrael, we swiftly absconded so as not to run into the real guards, and headed together to the Shrine of Suffering. Hopefully we can find somewhere to repair Ash's staff later, but I fear some of the other trinkets Kobold had on hand were unfortunately now off limits. As we arrived under the watchful eye of Ilmater, the rest headed inside while I took a moment to pluck up the courage and wherewithal to step in. As I did, I saw them all standing awkwardly with one of the Sept sisters. Azrael in particular had a look of worry about him. I later learned he had been told of our excursion to Celestia, and he was hoping that we had met his wife, a cleric of Bahamut, while there. Alas, her description did not sound familiar. I took the sister aside and inquired vaguely about signs of the cult's activities. She told us that word of such a group had crossed her ear, but that they had passed through Baldur's Gate already, not a day or so ago. It seemed we were right on their heels, though, falling behind at every moment. We did not tarry for long, but Feathers took the time to seek out a small shrine of Bahamut, which I saw her speaking to as if in casual conversation. Ash did not make herself quite so comfortable, leaving the temple swiftly after our inquiries were done. Regaining composure outside, however, another familiar presence made themselves known.
Very well done. Very well done indeed. That was great. Before we pick up tonight's session, as I've just mentioned in the chat, there are new channel points to redeem if you wish to do so. All I'm going to say to you guys round the table, no, you cannot redeem them for each other.
Why?
Because that would defeat it. However, there are 2 new channel points that you guys can redeem. For 3,500 points, you can choose a player to give inspiration to at any point. And for 5,000 points, you can give an individual 250 gold pieces.
Damn!
Hot damn!
So, you can help these guys out at home by just watching along.
How do you get channel points?
By watching along.
By watching along as much as possible.
Exactly. See, these guys are going to be like, please watch, please, we need the
It's going to take you a while to get to 5,000, guys. Come on.
We need you. We need the monies. As you are stood outside the temple, banging your head against brick wall, thought that was you.
I kind of immediately snap and look to where the voice is coming from.
As you look over, you see a rather short fellow. Quite portly, not fat, but quite bulky in the midriff. Could be mistaken for a dwarf at first glance. but you know that this is no dwarf.
She kind of looks for a second, shakes her head, like rubs her eyes, looks again.
As you
Phalanx?
look at Phalanx, this short, half human, half dwarf, or human that looks like a dwarf, it's hard to tell. To the untrained eye, it's a dwarf, right?
Yeah.
This guy stands around 3.5, 4 foot. Long, red-haired beard. Long red hair. Slightly balding on top. Dan, stop, man. Every single time. Stop. You see that his figure has changed since you last met. He's a bit
Okay.
bulkier than he was.
Okay.
Stood with his great hammer leant in front of him and his hands perched atop the, the staff bit of the hammer, kind of resting his hands on top. He looks at you and goes, I never thought I'd see you again.
Why are you still here? And she kind of wait, fuck that! And sprints towards him and just wraps him in a massive hug.
Ow, just easy on my ribs. Thank you. Well, Ashy, it is good to see you, but you're late.
I know. If you're on about, I know.
You're very late.
A day?
3.
3.
You're late.
Shite.
I was meant to meet you. I was going to meet you at Akabon's yard. I've been there for a week. I was expecting you any day. We have made preparations, but you're late by a long stretch.
We ran into a bit of trouble in El Thorel.
Look, we can discuss this when you come to the yard. Look, I can't wait long. I have more things I need to do ready for you.
Oh, wait, this is quite cheeky, because I know that we can talk later. It's fine.
Okay, look, we... Gather your friends. You have to put your affairs in order today. You leave... Well, we leave at nightfall.
Are you coming with us?
I'll explain it all later. Just... Everything
Okay,
you need to do at the yard... Look, this is going to be a long trip. You need provisions. You need things to keep you on the road. This is not a short trip. We're going for at least 2 months.
Fuck. Okay.
750 miles, Ashy. Get your affairs in order, gather your friends, buy what you need, and meet me at the yard as quickly as you can.
We couldn't get the documentation, but I guess that doesn't matter if the caravan's left now.
I knew this. I will sort it out. Just...
Okay. So I don't need to do what Aldor's asking me to do. I don't know why I checked in on him. It was an idea.
Ashy.
I know.
You know that he's a... Look, he's a
He's
vagrant.
a piece of shite.
He is a piece of shit. Why would you do that?
I didn't know that you were still here. And I was like, oh, what are my connections here? Oh, Aldor.
I see your decision-making hasn't got much better. Look, hopefully we can improve that on the road together. I saw you come through the Wyvern Pass at the, at the gate towards the outer city. You and your ragtag bunch of friends. And I thought, no, surely not. She must be dead by now because she keeps making poor choices. But alas, you're alive. Can you just...
Somehow...
Could you get your friends and do things, please?
Okay.
You look really good, by the way.
Thank you.
I like this.
Missed you.
I missed you too, but...
Okay,
Fuck.
yard. Absolutely.
And he just,
All right.
he literally just spins and just walks. And as you as he spins, you see him put the hood of his cloak up, and as he does, his appearance shifts.
Ooh.
And he just wanders off.
Cool. Ash kind of takes a moment, is like, did that just happen? And with like, she's been very deflated, down, guarded this entire time in Baldur's Gate, but there's like a slight smile on her lips as she kind of like runs, like not Ash run, but like gentle jog to like the front of the shrine, awaiting you guys to exit.
Okay. Outside the shrine, I believe Michael and Azrael, you didn't venture in. It was just Clovis, Jove, and Feathers, if I'm not mistaken.
I was in with Clovis.
You were in with Clovis, so it's just Azrael that was waiting. Azrael, as you stood outside Temple, you noticed that Ash kind of jogs around the corner and looks a little happier than she was when she went round.
Sort of just vaguely looking up, sees Ash, and just goes back to staring at the floor.
Ash goes to like say hi, and then he just stares at her and is like, okay, and just kind of stands awkwardly by him, like rocking back on, like anxious, but like rocking back up on her the balls of her feet. She's kind of like waiting for everybody else to come out.
Okay. Inside the temple, Clovis, you finish your conversation with the sister and start making your way with Jove back towards the entrance. As Feathers, you finish up your, not so much prayer, but your conversation with a god.
Conversations with God.
With a god.
Just catch up.
One of many. Yo, what up, Bahamut? How's it going?
Hey, Big B!
You! How's it cracking? As you finish this conversation up with Bahamut, filled with this new sense of purpose and having the one question that you needed answering answered in a way that you hadn't expected, but it kind of gives you a little bit of joy to know that what you were looking for all along, within you all along, deep inside,
Aww.
and it was just you that you were looking for. Ah,
Others found religion.
Oh.
that's nice. As you guys make your way towards the entrance, Michael, what are you doing at this point? Because I didn't catch up with you at the end of last session while these guys were having the conversations. What is it you're doing?
Well, after having the short conversation with the sister and not getting any answers towards his problem, I guess I would just be just walked back towards the entrance, and I would just be staring at the sort of chamber in front of me with my back against the wall.
Okay.
And just staring at the people who are sitting there, because there's a lot of like, did you say not refugees, but like people that have been traveling, or?
No, so I mean, as you kind of looking around and taking in everyone that's in there, it kind of becomes very apparent that they pretty much welcome all walks of life, it seems.
Right.
It's not just one class of individual. There are upper class people, there are people of the lower classes in there. There's a mixture, each seeking refuge and the sanctity of their own gods.
He's just gonna stand there for a sec, taking all of that in, and wait for the others to come so they can leave. There's nothing here for him.
Hey. The rest of you reconvene towards the entrance of
I think we have all we came for.
As they leave, Ash kind of like looks to Azrael and just kind of bounds up to join the rest of them. Right, I think we're good. I say that we're 3 days late, but Felix has us covered. Felix is here, which is amazing, and he's coming with us. So,
Who's Phalanx?
You've mentioned him before.
yes, my friend at the Order of the Gauntlet. He's here. I met him here, and he's still here.
Well, that hopefully does solve a few issues. Is it still necessary for us to...
He said he'll sort it.
I've heard you say that before. How good of friends are you?
We're very good friends. He's
Right.
he's trustworthy. He said that he's surprised I'm still alive. So that, so he's a bit more sensible than me, I guess you could say. But he says he'll handle everything. We just need to get provisions because apparently we've got 2 months ahead of us.
2 months.
2 months of travel.
Good lord.
750 miles.
We definitely don't have provisions for that.
No, so we need to do that and then get to the yard.
Right.
Yard?
Aye, where we were originally going to meet the caravan with the guy.
Yes.
Back in Celebon.
Akin. Yes. That. So
Okay.
we need to get provisions. I know, Jove, you have some food.
There are a couple of things I would like to take care of. Some supplies and a couple of personal matters.
I'll sort out the food, don't worry. I got my cold bag, and it's still not full yet. He sort of opens it, and there's like a little... the cold air is there. Ties it back up. Like, I'll find some stuff. I get to go shopping for food. Anyone want to come?
Someone should.
Why?
I
Just one-
feel like I can't do anything right now. People recognize me from before, or I'm now the daughter of the fake old lady. So I'm a bit fucked.
Yeah, and laying down in my face, so I probably shouldn't go either.
But you have the ability to disguise yourself.
I do. That's true.
Just don't choose a grandma this time.
Oh, please don't. But somebody needs to supervise Jove. Clovis is right. I mean, go with Jove to keep him company.
What do you mean supervise?
I meant.
No, do you know
No.
what? Right, fine.
No.
And he just sort of like swings over his shoulder and just starts leaving.
Should I go after him? Like,
Yes.
No, he'll be okay. As long as he doesn't spend everything, and even if he does, it'll be a lesson well learned.
does
He only has
have
his.
all our money?
No, I do.
Okay.
He only has his. He's fine.
Okay.
There's a couple of things I want to look into, but I'll just go by myself if you don't mind.
Are you sure?
It's fine.
Quite.
You have the sending stone, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Are
Joe
you in
has
the yard?
a standing stone, doesn't he?
No, Jove passed it to Clovis because he was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, you get it.
Yes, I did.
right. Okay.
Before we leave the full sort of area of the temple, can I just quickly stop and just take a brief look around the room behind me in case there's anyone I recognize?
Sure. Absolutely can. Make me a perception check.
Oh God, you're smiling.
Never trust a smiling DM.
Oh God, it's good as well. What's my perception? Oh, it's crap. 22. 21.
Oh, only a 21.
Just a 21.
Okay.
Only a +2.
So, you look around to see if you recognize anyone within the temple.
Mm-hmm.
You do not.
With a 22, you would have, but oh.
I'll give a shallow sigh and turn to leave the temple proper.
Okay.
Well, when and where shall we reconvene? Is there anything else anyone else needs to sort out while we're here, or?
We maybe should have figured out where we were meeting before Jove ran off.
Maybe shouldn't have got us banned from the magic shop when we got to restock provisions. We all make mistakes.
Is there
Do I know if
only
it-
one magic shop in this town, though?
I was about to say, do I remember there being any other magic shops?
Not that you know of. There are one or two, but the one you went to is the magic shop. There are a couple
Yeah.
that may have magical items, but their range... I mean, you already know that the range would be
Minimal.
Like, it'll be healing potions, maybe the odd magic item that's been bartered for other goods.
Sure.
You know.
Well,
Hmm.
I've spent a great deal of time on the road, and one of the many dangers, let alone the bandits and the monsters, is boredom. So if there's anything anyone would like to get done during our travels, I would suggest picking up the supplies to do so now. For example, I myself was thinking about perhaps taking up a little bit of alchemy or herbalism.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that I would like to pick up then too.
On that note, would anybody be able to grab me? I'll give the money. Like a herbalism kit or something.
Certainly. I'll handle that.
Thank you.
does this magic guy that you went into the fuss with, does he recognize all of us, or?
It's a little unclear. I disguised myself when I went in there. He certainly knows Feathers. He certainly knows Ash. Whether he would have connected me to them, I'm not 100% sure. I think should probably avoid it as well. But as for the rest of you, I can't imagine why he would.
I could give it a try, if you want. Ash, see if I can fix apathy, you said?
Pity. I actually think I might. Apathy.
So vague.
I think that I might have that covered.
Right, okay, cool.
I think Phalanx, he used to be able to do something like that. I want to see if he can still do it. But if you do go, be warned, that guy is extremely hot.
He is
Like-
enormous. The rings, the adornments on the horn.
Exactly. It was all of it. The whole. Just
I'm
yes.
thinking about getting a little bit of ringlet just for here, and I sort of like put
Where
it in
the
my hair.
fuck
I
is
like
Phil
it,
when you
I
need
like
him and I
it.
walk off?
Okay.
I'll
So,
see you at the pit. Oh,
The
where-
yard.
the
Yard.
yard.
The yard. Yes, the pit is a very different place. Do not go there.
No.
so Jove heads off into town to do some shopping for some food. Clovis heads off in his own direction on some personal errands. Michael, you start retracing your steps a street or two away to head back to the magic shop. Azrael, Feathers, and Ash, you all start making your way towards the Black Gate North, correct?
You guys want to
I-
do your own thing?
There
I
is
could-
something I want to do, yeah.
Okay, I can make myself busy. Or hidden, either way.
How long is this going to be?
Me?
Everyone.
I don't know. Everybody just kind of separated. A couple of hours, maybe less.
And we're heading out the gate,
To
right?
the yard. To meet
Just-
Phalanx.
By the gate?
The yard is. What the hell is it? Was it in the upper city?
Yep, so if you look at the map,
Near the black.
once it loads,
Yeah.
if you look in the map and look at the top right, right at the top, the Garen Moore stables,
Mm-hmm.
top left of the map on Roll20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There.
yeah, so that is, I can, just behind that is Akinsel's
Oh, so
yard.
it is out the gate. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so you need to go through the Black Dragon Gate into Black Gate and then right way through Black Gate, Akin's yard.
Cool.
The music just got very
It
intense.
did.
Right?
Okay.
It shouldn't have done. But it
That's
did.
good.
To the next track.
Let's put that on.
I think I've got something I want to do, but if we're going to be a couple of hours, I only need like 10 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Just do you need privacy for this? I mean,
Have you ever seen a horse being summoned?
Um,
And that's not a euphemism.
No.
I wouldn't do that in the
Wait.
city. Sweet.
Could be though.
wait till
They-
you're
they-
outside.
They said
The horse is
outside
here.
the city.
Yeah, wait
You
until
said
you're
it's
outside.
outside the city. But where we're going is outside the city.
Yes.
Oh my god, there's so many cows. Sorry, I could just hear cows. in this
Yeah,
music.
no, I heard it too and went, oh, that's the wrong one. I clicked the wrong
Horses are
one.
not as loud, but
That's
cows
the
are.
one. We had chickens, cows, and dogs within like the first 30 seconds of that thing.
Farmyard.
Holy shit.
I'm confused. We're going outside the gate, but you don't want me to.
No,
summon my
outside the
horse?
gate, summon the horse. That's fine.
Yeah, wait
That-
until you're
that
on the
was
other
my-
side. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was my thing.
Is there anything
to
you
do.
need to get?
I have no money.
Okay. Do you need to borrow some money? If there's something you need.
No. I sort of try and look around, see where Clovis he lent me money.
Okay.
To,
So you have money.
No, I spent it.
I need to find like a leather worker or something. I don't know if that is a. Do you know what I'm talking about? Someone that works with like leathers.
It makes bracers and stuff like that.
They're more like someone that turns hides into leather.
Oh, like a tanner.
That's the person. Do you know what they would be?
Would I know where that would be?
Also, maybe I might also know.
You
what
might
they are.
know.
Don't you live here?
You're from here.
Do I know if there is like a local tannery?
Yeah, you will know that there is one in town, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So I'm going to just head there. I'll meet you at the yard. Before I
In
do,
how long?
as soon as I finish there, it won't take long. I just want to ask them some questions and pick up some stuff. Actually, can I have some money?
I was going to ask, because you're technically still in debt from a previous town. How much do you want?
Oh, it should be more than 50.
Okay. And I will kind of make sure we're not out in the open.
Okay.
And pass her 50 gold.
Okay. So,
I'm going to change into a halfling, just a little blonde-haired halfling woman, and head towards there.
okay.
And
And
to steal again.
Azrael
that
and
would be
Ash,
fun.
you both start heading towards the Black Gate.
I mean, I was going to go to Blushy Mermaid if I was by myself. But
I mean, yeah, Azrael's just going to head.
You walk
that
in and
way.
see Clovis.
It's like that meme where two people are in a car in there.
Well, that always sunny.
Yeah,
Always sunny.
If Ash wants to head to the Blushing Mermaid,
she's not going to see that. She's just kind of like seeing that Azrael's staying put and just like, okay, so are we going?
that way.
She kind of looks behind, just like, hi, that way. And we
Okay.
head out.
So,
Ash is like,
we
I'm going to
lasted
show you something you never forget.
we lasted half an hour, then split the group entirely. So this is great. Cool.
Yep.
So, let's start. Let's go around and we'll kind of do bits throughout. So, Jove, you head off. Do you head directly back to Nana's shop? Are you heading back there, or are you just going to be wandering around town until you find particular things that you're looking for? Like, are you going to like find a bakery or a butcher's, and you know?
Yeah, so probably head down to what looks like a main high street from his perspective, where there's people with, wares on show.
Mm-hmm.
Butchers, grocers, just things of a cooking nature, sort of food resellers more than anything else. Nothing else.
Okay.
fresh markets or things like that.
Okay, no problem. Just so that obviously we're not role playing you bartering with everybody, I want you to make me a general
Yeah, of course.
just make me a general charisma check, please.
I don't have that.
You meet now.
Money. Oh, good. So that's a 10 plus nothing. So that's a 10.
A 10? Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So you spend the next couple of hours wandering the streets of Baldur's Gate. You do come across multiple different sellers of different. You'll see like a fruit store, somebody selling lots of different bits of fruit. You purchase bits of fruit. Go next to a veg store, which is on a different street that you managed to find. You then manage to find your way back to another street, to a butcher's, and you do spend a couple of hours wandering the streets of Baldur's Gate just looking for food shops. One shop that you do manage to find, which is a really nice bakery that sell Baldur's Buns, it's called, and they sell a very nice mince, like meat pie. Like a pork pie in our terms, but it's a meat pie with a bit of like onion gravy on the top that's been solidified with jelly and just all packed into this little like meat parcel. He recommends it to you. You buy a couple of bits.
Looks like he's gonna puke.
I know. But
I
buy.
just feel like English restaurant. Anyone?
I know. But you purchase various bits of meat, and he gives you one. Because you've spent so much. I'd like you to take me 30 gold out of your thing, and with that, I will send you a list a bit later on with everything you've purchased. But with everything you've purchased, you would surmount that for 7 people, it's given you roughly, if used sparingly, around a month to 5 weeks worth of meals. Some of that could be stewed, or, if used sparingly, you've got that. Your bag of colding is full, but, unsurprisingly, despite how much you are literally, you feel like halfway through, you're like, I'm going to fucking push this thing to its limit. I'm going to literally buy, like, a pumpkin and shove that fucking thing in and just see what this baby can do. It holds, and it doesn't feel any heavier than when you put it on this morning. So you fill your bag of colding with as much fruit, and it's going to be preserved for a longer period of time than it would be normally. But yeah, so you take 30 gold out, you spend a good couple of hours searching for that. Is there anything specifically that you want to shop for in terms of food sorts? If so, just send me a message and let me know. Have a think. If you're like, oh, I want to cook pheasant, or I want ram, or whatever.
Yeah, I've got an idea. I'd probably, if I've picked up and I've surmised that that amount of time has been sort of, akin for, I'd probably take a set amount of rations as well, just so we have some dried food, just something outside of the normal stuff, just to, I don't know how many rations feed. It's 1 ration per person, isn't it? So another 15 of those, I guess.
Okay.
Just jerkies, things, stuff that doesn't need.
Like salted meat and that sort of stuff. Like
stuff that can keep outside.
No problem. You've got all that stuff. That's no problem. So you do spend a good couple of hours doing that. It is starting to get to early evening by the time you finish your bit of shopping, and you start heading back. You know that it was mentioned that you need to go towards the Black Gate, and you remember that you need to be asking for Akin Celebon's yard. You ask a few guards that are wandering the city. They point you in the right direction. You start heading back after you.
Just one thing. While I'm walking around the town, do I see any orcs that look like me? Any sort of greyish ones, or are they all like? Can I make a perception check on this?
I will come back to you on that, because although you may, a lot of them are just passing by. You can stop and have a bit of a chit chat with them, but one does catch your eye. But it's not until you venture out of the Black Gate and into the actual Black Gate district, and then one does catch your eye and actually approaches you. But I will come back to you when it happens.
Cool.
Okay, so next on the agenda, Michael, doesn't take you long. You remember your way back, but you make your way back to the magic shop that you were in a little earlier that day. Well, you didn't go in, but you were just outside of.
Yeah, me and Michael kind of walked together for a little bit because I'm also heading back in that kind of direction. And as we got close to the magic shop, I would have changed my appearance
Okay.
just to look like a common merchant. But I would have let him go in and carried on.
Okay. As you enter, the same interior greets you. There's beautiful magic shop filled, full to the rafters of different items and different wares. You come to the immediate understanding that anything you kind of could think of is probably in here. If you wanted like a broom that could fly, it's probably in here. If you wanted a magic carpet, it's probably in here. If you wanted a sword that could smite a god, it's probably in here. It's one of those types of shops. They have anything and everything you could possibly want. As
Is
you
it like
kind of
massive inside, or is it just stuffed with shit?
It's a fair size. It's not massive. It's not like a Costco. For those of you that know what Costco's like, it's not a fucking warehouse, but it's a reasonable size shop. But it's
just filled.
It is filled, but not to the point where you feel like things have been shoved and like crammed. It's all very well laid out, and you see that as you kind of let your eyes cast over the shop, everything has its place. Everything seems to have been categorized. So you see like weapons and armor are all in one section. Scrolls, books, and things like that are all in another section. Jewelry and rings are in another. So it's all kind of like in different sections to make your shopping a little easier. As you kind of enter, the tiefling gentleman kind of sees you and goes, "Ah, welcome. A new patron."
Hi.
Might I say, I love what you've done with your hair. The white really brings out the sharpness of your cheekbones.
Well, thanks. It was sort of unintentional,
Well, the gods do smile on some. Tell me, what is it I can help you with today?
I was looking for books, maybe some potions. I'm gonna head out of the city up north, and I could use some good reading.
Well, I must admit, my book collection is not as large as some libraries, but I have a select few that you might find interesting. Tell me, what is it you like to read? We have all sorts of fictions, non-fictions, biographies, histories.
Do you have anything that speaks towards magic, helping someone get their memory back? Or
I don't
curing
think I have
ailments?
nothing of the sort that would bring a memory back, but I can help in some regard. There is one book I have which aids those that are struggling with the loss of short-term memory. It is a book of puzzles that keep the mind active.
I mean, a puzzle book, sure. It's going to be a long journey, so might as well. Can I give it a look?
Of course.
Got some Sudoku.
It is pretty much, I mean, it's like,
Sudoku book.
it's like number puzzles, word puzzles, that sort of thing, like riddles, all that kind of stuff. But he brings it out, and it doesn't look tattered and old, but it is worn as such. This I've had for quite some time, but it is a reasonable price, only 1 gold and 5 silvers.
I'll take it.
Of course, it is yours. And you mentioned potions. We have potions of many varieties. Those that reinvigorate those that have lost some blood in combat. We have potions that could help with all sorts of resistances to magical effects. We also have potions that could lift your feet from the ground for a short time. We have, I believe, even potions that could bring the breath of dragons into your mouth.
Right. Well, from what I can tell, it seems like I need a little bit more blood on my cheeks. So maybe a healing potion, something like that.
Yes,
So
of
I don't get
course.
too.
Of course, we have had many people come in this day to ask for such a thing. I only have limited amount left. There are 8 left, 50 gold apiece. But if you buy 5, you can have them for 230.
5 for 230. How about I get 4 of those for 150?
How about this? If you take 4 off my hand, I will do it for 180, and I will throw your puzzle book in free of charge.
4 of them for 180.
Very well.
Sure. Why not?
So there's 4 small health potions and your puzzle book. Now, you said that you are on a journey for quite some time. That puzzle book may not last you long, but I may have some other things that might help. We have books on histories. We have books. Well, we have fantasy books. All sorts of mythical tales about mythical beasts.
Do you have anything on Bahamut?
Ah, religious books, of course. If you bear with me a moment.
Sure.
He goes and pulls a book out, and it's quite a large book. And this is the Pantheon of Lesser and Greater Gods. Now this...
And how much for that?
This gives quite a detailed description and some devout following of each of the lesser and higher gods of, well, that are known, and some that are unknown. It is quite a sought-after piece. This would be 80 gold pieces.
Well, since I don't really need to learn about any other gods than Bahamut, maybe that book wouldn't be too useful for me.
If it's just a one specific god that you are looking for, the temple not a street or two away may have some literature that is more suited to your needs.
What temple would that be? Sorry, I haven't been through it before. I'm literally just heading through.
Don't worry, it is a simple temple not a couple of streets away, called the Shrine of the Suffering. Do not let the name put you off. It is not a place of harm. It is more a place of respite for those who are weary.
Oh, okay. So it's a shrine for the suffering, not for suffering. That makes
Well,
sense. Right.
yes and yes. People that suffer go there, and people often who pray and get no answer suffer all the same. I am not a religious man myself.
Right.
I cannot speak for those who go. But they may have something that, if it is just on Bahamut that they may have something.
Okay. Well, thank you. What did we say? 160?
Not quite, no. 180 gold pieces. Now tell me, those cheekbones, they could use a little more hair. I have just the thing. I have just the thing.
All right.
And he goes off and comes back and presents a belt. Now, this belt, it is wonderful. It gives the wearer a little bit more of a stalwart constitution. And also, it has the chance to grow someone a quite fine beard.
Okay. And how much would that be?
Well, this is quite expensive. This would be 500 gold pieces.
500 gold pieces. I'm unfortunately with everything that I bought already. That's not something that I would be able to afford, I'm afraid. Yeah, no, that is.
Very well. It will be here when you next pass by. Anything else I can help you with?
Right. Would you like to barter, maybe?
More than I have. You have had quite a significant discount of 20% so far. Do you want more?
Well, how about I was to give you this, and I pull out my sword.
Let me inspect that if you don't mind.
Sure, yeah.
He takes it off you and looks it up. And you see him pop it on the desk and go in to a drawer, pulls out a pair of glasses and puts the glasses on. Looks down. Quite good craftsmanship, I will give you that, but unfortunately I am not in the market for such as... As you can see, and he kind of like gestures behind you, and as you kind of turn and look, there is a wall of, I'd say about 30 to 40 different swords of all different like varieties and makes and models and like kind of styles, all within this weapon rack on the wall. As you can see, I'm a little bit inundated with this kind of wear at the moment, and it is bad business
I promise you there's no sword like this one.
What makes this one so special?
Well, first of all, you can hear the heartbeat.
This is a worrying thing for me.
Oh, it's not cursed. It's not cursed, I promise you. I heard from long ago that it was enchanted by dragon's breath, and therefore you can hear the dragon's heart. I don't know if it's still connected, but I know for a fact that it's not cursed. See, I can step away from it, and I'll take 10 feet back.
Okay. Make a persuasion check for me.
Skills. That is a 23.
Okay. I am open to trade. I will take this sword and the 180 gold pieces, and you can have the belt for 150.
Belt 450.
And so that would be 320 gold pieces in total. For the potions, the book, and the belt.
How about I take the belt, the book, and one potion, and you can have 200 gold. That's all I have on me. But I do need some more facial hair, that's for sure.
As beautiful as your cheekbones are, I think you are right. But unfortunately, this is below what I would want for such wares.
Right. So if you can sell me just the belt for 150, then, and maybe I can get the book on the.
So the belt is worth 500. The belt is worth 500 gold. Willing to trade the sword, and I'd want a further 150 gold.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
Very well. I will need to have the sword here for an hour or so while I inspect it further for curses and other enchantments that may be on it. If you can come back, we can of course, proceed with this.
Unfortunately, I will be leaving very shortly, so
And then, unfortunately,
um,
we cannot find an accord.
right. Well, that's understandable. Maybe next time I come through then.
Very well. The potions in the book?
Potions and the book. Yeah, let's go for that.
Very
Wonderful.
well. That's 180 gold pieces.
180 gold pieces. Yes, sir. There you go. 180.
Very good. You enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget the next time you pass by to stop in and at least smile.
Of course. Pleasure to meet you.
And to you. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
And as you kind of...
And I'll walk out.
Yeah, you make your way out. Is there anything else you want to do with your day? You have a couple of hours. Is there anything you want to do, or are you going to start heading back towards the Blackgate district?
Well, Clovis said that he was going down the street right past me.
I
Yep.
continued. So when you went into the magic shop, I continued back sort of towards the way we came from.
Right. Well, I don't know where the others have gone, so I'm gonna sort of head towards the same direction as Clovis has done, just because I don't know the city, and he seems to like like he knows it. So I'm gonna head towards where he went to.
Okay, no problem. Clovis, you leave Michael at the front of the shop. Where are you heading next?
So I'm just going to find just any old sort of oddities shop or shop that I can maybe pick up some like a herbalism kit.
Yep.
For Ash. I'll do that, but I'm heading to an area of Heapside near the Elf Song Tavern to do some stuff.
Okay, no problem. You can go and get the herbalism kit. Let me just... Herbalism kit.
And I always get the two mixed up, but is it just a herbalism kit, or is there such a thing as like alchemy supplies as well?
Supplies
There is.
something.
Alchemy
So
Surprise...
they're two separate things, right?
Yes, they are. So herbalism kit is for more, again, herbology, so that sort of thing. Alchemist is, again, the brewing of chemicals.
I'll go for one of those. I'll try
So-
and grab one of those for myself as well.
So the alchemist tools are one of the more expensive tools. They are 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
And I'm just having a look.
Does it come with any kind of like instruction manual or
Alchemy for dummies.
alchemy for dummies? Yeah.
It's a kid science kit.
Hey, I mean, I can tinker around and see what explodes, but
Okay, so a herbalist kit is 5 gold. The alchemist kit is 50. If you
cool.
take
And I'll
off...
try and haggle a couple of instruction manuals as well if I can.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So with your general charisma, you know that's not hard to do. You do get a herbalist book. It looks rather worn, but they do give you a herbalist book. They don't have any books on alchemy at the time, but they have suggested that the book that you have kind of lends its craft to both.
Okay, cool.
So with your general charisma, just make me a persuasion check quickly, and I'll tell you
Okay.
how much that's going to cost.
Dirty 20.
So you can have that for the 55 gold. They'll give you the book for free.
Cool. Ding. Done.
Okay, and then you head off to do some things. Do you want to go through what you're doing, or are you happy enough that it's just what you told me?
Well, I would be doing it on my own,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, if no one else is there,
Yeah.
I don't know if Michael.
No, Michael wouldn't have
Finds me?
caught up at this point. He doesn't know the city. It would be difficult to try and track you down. You know where you're going, and you will have been able to kind of like beeline to that particular place through zigzagging.
I did
through.
I did a little bit of sort of meandering around to find the potions and stuff like that, but that's fine. No, if no one's with me, then I will keep it to myself.
Okay, so you go off to do that thing. It's, it's weird
So
because it makes, given everything that's transpired with you, Clovis, over the last week or two, and everything that's kind of come out.
Yeah.
It's weird. You never really ever imagined you ever coming back to this place ever anyway, and especially now that you are back doing what you are doing, it's very much against how you even thought you would. If you'd have thought back to 3 months ago, it was kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, whereas now there's kind of like it's a comforting thing for you, and you do feel an air of comfort from it.
Okay.
Go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
How
And then
long-
I'll begin to. I'd only stay for 10 minutes, just have a little chat,
Okay.
and then go.
Okay, no problem. And then where do you go from there? Do you start heading back towards the
Yeah,
Blackgate district?
Yeah, I would pass by the magic shop to see if, once again in disguise, to see if Michael has been put in chains or anything like that.
No, I mean, it doesn't seem like anything's happened at the magic shop, and you don't see him at all, so you just kind of assume he's started making his way back. And as you kind of like walk onto the main thoroughfare that leads towards the Black Gate district, you kind of see him coming out of an opposite alley, just completely turned around, and has obviously been trying to follow his own directions, but you do manage to catch up with each other before both heading back towards the Black Gate district.
Find everything you needed?
Yeah, but not everything I wanted. That's fine, though.
It's a common turn of events in this city, I'm afraid.
Yeah. He's a cheeky fucker, that one.
I know, isn't it wonderful?
Tried to sell me on some beard oil.
Really?
A belt.
I know. Your cheekbones shouldn't never be covered with a beard. Something as frightful as that. I like the little thing you've got going on right now. It's much more refined.
That's why I told him. You know.
Well, you can't buy or conjure taste, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not. So, what's next?
Well, I have all of my things squared away. We should probably head towards the others.
All right.
Okay.
And you see, Clovis he's not looking down at the floor as much anymore.
Okay. You
So
two.
does he seem
He's looking where he's going.
Does he seem like he's had his spirits lifted, so to speak?
I don't know if you claim that.
Oh, so he really did go to the tavern.
Damn it.
He seems relieved. Yeah. No. He, I wouldn't say lifted. Just cleared.
Hey,
Well, good on you.
Feathers. You set out on your own little venture. Where are you heading?
So I am looking for a tanner person.
Okay. You know pretty much where to head. There is one that was renowned within the market square of Baldur's Gate. It does take you an hour or so to get there, though. It is quite a trek across the city, but you do get there. Yeah, it's just as you kind of remember. Not the same owner, but the same kind of tanners as you remember it being. It's exactly where it was when you were last here. What is it you're looking to purchase?
Right, so I am a bit like the herbalism kit. I'm looking to get some sort of simple tanning, like tools and tanning for dummies book. So
Okay, so you are looking for. You want. Do you want leather workers' tools? Are you looking for weavers' tools?
no, leather working.
You want leather working. Cool. So that
That
leather.
is what would turn hide into leather for armors and stuff, right?
Yeah. So you can get leather workers' tools is 5 gold. In terms of tanning, it goes through a bit of that, but it is a skill that takes a bit of time to learn, and it's not a quick process. I mean,
I know, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Just as long as you know that hides tend to take like weeks drying before they even become leathers, but that's fine.
That's
Cool.
fine.
That's fine. So that's 5 gold for the leatherworker's tool, and they can give you a book on that so that you can learn how to do it. So yeah, 5 gold. Take that from your thing. Anything else that you want to do before you head to the Blackgate district?
So heading back, I'm actually going to pop into the Blushing Mermaid.
Okay.
God damn it! I wish I'd done that. That would have been funny.
Okay.
Well, I want
Find me!
Okay. So you head back across town and you make your way back towards the Blushing Mermaid. Not as you remember.
Oh, okay.
It looks rather run down now. It was always kind of run down, but it looks a little bit more run down than it was when you were last here. Are you going in?
Yeah, and as I enter, I'm going to, just as I literally enter the door, I'm going to tap the hat and change my appearance back to my own appearance. Just as I enter, so no one should notice me change.
Okay. You head in. And it's getting towards early evening, so it is getting busier in there. It is, as you remember, it's still laid out the same way inside. So it's 2-story. Along, on either side of the room, there are the staircase that go up to the top floor. And as you know, that's where a lot of people do their business in this establishment. The lower floor, there's lots of tables and bars and things and stools that are kind of laid out. And the bar is against the back wall. There are a couple of individuals behind the bar. There is an older gentleman that you remember from your time here, and there is a young lady, a young elven girl, blonde hair, short kind of bob cut, wearing kind of a cream dress with little like dandelion print on it, and a kind of like a nice little apron. As you kind of like walk in and take in, what is it you're looking to do?
I'm actually looking for the bartender. I'm just stopping by to say hello since I'm in the area, and he helped raise me basically. So
Okay.
yeah.
You start and kind of head up. The bar is quite busy. So it does take you a moment or two just to kind of find a gap, but you do, and you kind of hop up on a stool and kind of like perch there, and you kind of go unnoticed for a few minutes, and the young girl kind of comes over and she's like, I'm sorry, dear, I'll be with you in just a moment, okay?
It's okay.
We are quite busy. What is it you want to drink? And she's already pouring like 2 or 3 other drinks.
I'll just have a water. I just actually want to speak to... Do I know his name? Do I remember his name?
I mean, you should.
I should, but I don't actually have it written down.
Well, make a name up.
Albert.
Cool.
I just...
Albert.
Albert.
Brilliant.
Cool. Oh, sure. Albie, dear. There's someone here to see you. I'll get you a water right now. And he
you.
kind of goes, all right. Bless my beard.
Hi.
If it isn't my old mate Feathers, how are you? And he kind of like walks over and leans over and he goes, I haven't seen you since you were this tall. And he literally puts his hand to the top of your head since you were this tall.
I thought I'd stop. I can't stop for long, but I just... Is everything okay? Your cleaner's not doing a good job. What's this about?
Well, good work is hard to find. Since you left, the place has gone to the dogs. You must have held this place up on your little white back.
Well, we know that, but is everything okay though?
I tell you, yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm
good.
just getting a bit too long in the tooth. Shan't see me doing this much longer. Actually looking to offload this, but haven't found someone that's looking to buy. You know anyone?
I know some people, but we don't quite have the gold for that yet, Albie. But maybe one day.
Oh, this kind of warms my old heart. I thought that you were off on your travels. You set off at such a pace last time you were here. Talking of grand adventures and...
Well, yeah, I have, I've been on some adventures.
Well, last I heard, you was heading south.
I went south, really south, and I kind of just go through everything that we've been doing. So I explain about Celestia and
Okay. Busy bar.
Okay.
So
It's not stealing, it's revealing secrets. It's just everything, isn't there? There's no...
I mean, there's no...
She just goes on for a bit and
Okay.
trying to impress him. So she's also like making herself sound a bit better in the battle scenes and stuff. So she's like, you know, she doesn't mention anything about the stealing.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, that's
Well,
where you draw the line.
That sounds like a marvellous tale. You should sing about it. I see you've got your old lute on your back.
Yeah, I haven't. I might actually. I quite like. I haven't practiced in a while.
Well, come on, give us a song.
Oh.
Quiet down! Quiet down! And he literally leans across and picks you up a little bit and like stands you on the bar and goes, "This here is my old mate Feathers, and she's gonna sing us a song, aren't you?"
Oh, Albie. Oh, okay. Okay. And I do try and sing the same song that I've sung to Ash.
Make me a performance check, please.
Okay. Ooh. That is a plus 12, 19 plus 12 is a 31.
Yeah, I
31.
mean, you nail it. And as you're playing, and everyone kind of does quieten down, and they start clapping to, clapping a beat to this tune, something starts to happen. And as you're strumming and you're concentrating on the song, crackle of energy, of arcane energy, comes from your fingers and up the lute. And you stop playing for a second. Carry on. You carry on and concentrate and try and hone back into what that sensation was. And right towards the end of the song, you strum, and as you strum the lute for the last chord, the energy erupts from your lute. And I'd like to ask you to choose a random spell from your new character sheet.
Ooh! Let's go!
Let's try not blow this bar up, okay?
Yeah, please.
Fireball.
Let's make it a non-violent spell, but you just choose it at random. It doesn't matter. You just choose one.
Sleep.
Crown of Madness on Albie.
I'm gonna. Oh yeah, okay. So fairy fire.
Okay. As you cast fairy fire.
So cool. Oh, I don't know how that
My
happened.
God, I didn't know you could do that.
Neither did I, Albie. Sorry.
Maybe not do that again.
I kind of wanna, but
That's fine. Just don't do it in here. We got paying customers, and I don't want to see none of them turn up in flame.
Is Albie sparkling like a disco ball right now?
He is pretty much sparkling like a disco ball. Yeah. If you could just please stop that.
okay.
And you drop concentration on fairy fire.
Yeah. And he stopped glittering. Yeah.
As you
brilliant.
successfully cast your first bardic spell.
Bard abilities unlocked. Let's go!
You can see that she's just completely thrown, and she's looking at the loot and kind of putting things together of what Bahamut said, okay. And she's like, and you just see she started running away with her own ideas. Like, okay, so she starts muttering to herself, even though Albie's still standing there.
He literally is just kind of staring at you wide-eyed as you're incoherently babbling to yourself, and he goes, look, Feathers, as much as this has been lovely, I've got shit I need to get on with. Listen, next time you're passing by, stop in and say hello to old Albie if I'm still here.
I'll bring my friends. I'm sure they'll... No, nice to have a drink anyway.
You take care of yourself now.
Alright, you too. And she's like hopping down and running straight out the door. She's really excited. She doesn't put her disguise back up. She's too excited.
Too excited.
So she just runs straight out the door.
Okay. As you kind of run out of the door and onto the streets, filled with this excitement, you take the loot off your back again and start heading back towards the Black Dragon District, and you start strumming away and fine-tuning and honing your skills on the lute. And this merry tune is echoed throughout the streets of Baldur's Gate as you start heading back. Ash and Azrael.
Yes.
You guys start making your way directly there, or are you going elsewhere first?
No, I think so. Ash has put her hood up and is kind of keeping her eyes low to the ground. Kind of probably taking some back alleyways over to the side just to avoid any large bouts of foot traffic. And assuming that Azrael is following her.
He is not. You said it was that way. He's taking the most direct route that way.
So you're not staying. You're not staying with Ash.
No.
Of course.
Ash kind of goes down an alleyway, looks behind, notices Azrael's not there, stomps back to the street, grabs Azrael and pulls him like, "Follow me," and goes on.
You said that way.
I know, but I'm clearly trying to avoid people.
You've got the thing,
Yes, but my skin is blue.
and mine's purple. What's your point?
People know me here.
Touche.
He's got a point.
Well played.
People know me here. I'm quite recognizable.
Bit mud.
I've done that before. It didn't really do much.
True.
Right, fine. You want to go direct route? If anything goes wrong, on your head. And she kind of like stomps forward, like having a bit of a Mardy, like hood fully over her face, like walking directly to the gate.
Okay.
Azrael is visibly confused as to what the fuck's happened. He just wants to get his horse back.
Anything else you guys want to discuss on your way back towards the Blackgate district?
If he notices Ash is in a mood now, what?
Nothing. I'm just a bit tense in the city, okay? I just want to not be seen, not have to deal with not following the task that Aldor sent. I just want to get out.
You were given a task?
Yes, to get documentation, but I think Felix has sorted it, so we don't need to deal with that. But I don't plan on going back to Aldor, so just want to get out fast.
So you're hiding because you're not doing your job?
Kinda, and I fucked some people over in this town.
Right. I can understand why you wouldn't want to be seen, but how long ago was that?
Like a year? It's not that long.
There's a good chance they're dead.
A year?
A year?
They're not houseplants.
People don't
Goldfish.
live that long normally, unless they're capable.
They don't live a year.
Well, it's not that strange.
Are you confusing people with ants? They don't live a year.
Which ones? No, people. Which ones are the small ones? Beards, long hair.
Dwarves?
That might be them.
Dear God, you have not been out much, have you?
I know what I know.
That's not a good. That's not a rebuttal.
I mean,
Argue with that, Ash.
I didn't see you driving the boat very well.
Ooh, burn.
Low blow.
He's staying in his lane.
I mean, he's out of line, but he's fucking right.
Ash kind of like stops. Is like debating between getting angry or being highly amused by this.
First one.
And
First
just
one.
kind of turns to Azrael and goes, you know, somebody who's asking so many questions and determined to get so many answers, you should really probably watch your tongue.
I'm asking question. Clovis said we're going into business together. I want to know who I'm working with.
Clovis is what?
Did he not tell you that?
No.
He wanted me to come along with you,
Right.
and he said we need to discuss it in a tavern. That's where business deals take place, apparently.
Dragging you into it now, Clovis. You're fucked, mate.
I feel like he might have just wanted a drink. So that's why he said he needs to go to a tavern.
We're in the magic shop, and he said when he lent me the money, saying this business deal.
Right. Okay. I was not there.
Well, I know you weren't there. This is why I'm telling you now.
Oh my God.
Do you know that? Do you?
50-50 at this point.
This is fucking brilliant.
Right. So Clovis lent you money, so now you're in a business agreement.
Well, he
Because
said
he
we
lent
need
you
to-
money, but that needs to be discussed in a tavern. But we're not going to be in a tavern, we're going to be in a caravan.
Yes.
You know what? You know what? For the sake of simplicity, okay? Fine. You want to know about me, you will learn about me. As much as these other guys do, okay? Long and short of it is, I don't do well with people. I will punch, likely before I say things. However, I'm getting better at that. And I know that a task needs to be done, and I will figure out a way to do it. And I paint.
I didn't know you painted. I figured you often punch things first with the river incident.
I was trying to help you.
It didn't really work out though. And from your general,
Disposition?
I was just going to say attitude on the boat,
Over time.
I kind of figured you didn't like people very much.
Okay, well, there you go. You know me. Can we go?
I'm gonna hide.
Swear to God, we're going to find a place on the road to leave you and just go.
That new emo has never been more
I know.
appropriate, right?
I know.
Really?
Oh. This conversation continues. I'm going to interject. This conversation continues or
Wait.
doesn't continue. As you guys continue on, is there anything else anybody wants to do before you all reconvene?
I want to see how this conversation ends.
Nope. Is there anything else anybody wants to do?
This brain hemorrhage that's happened.
Any further shopping that we can just box off quickly before you leave the city?
Yeah, I forgot that I wanted to pick up a book, a notebook, plain papered notebook.
Sure, you can do that.
Writing tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
take
Um,
take a couple of silver out of your thing. It's not expensive. It's when you say
No
book,
worries.
I mean it's more like parchment and what have you. But yeah, easy enough to get a blank book.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm going to pick up some in what Jove would assume would be like good booze, so sort of a whiskey or like a rum, something bottled, something someone would tell him was good, and he assumed it would be. Just
Okay, yeah, no problem.
kind of thing.
Take yourself a gold
Cool.
coin out, and you can have a bottle of rye whiskey.
I'll grab a couple of bottles of wine.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
Good wine.
Oh, good
Decent
wine.
wine.
Good. Okay.
None of this.
Okay. 10 gold pieces, and you can have a couple of
Good
bottles of
wine.
Parnas gold.
Yeah, there it is.
And it's a good vintage as well. It's Parnas Gold Red Label.
Label.
That's the
Hell
good
yeah. Hell
So-
yeah.
Decent. Just
He's
made
got his drink.
just made that. I literally just made that up on the spot, but it sounds fucking ace. So that's what you get.
Sounds legit, yeah.
So you guys all start heading through the Black Dragon Gate and into the Blackgate district. Now, this part of the town is pretty much. It's very similar to the outer city that you came through. It's built up mainly of, you know. Hold on. What's the equipage businesses? Those that sell and outfit caravans and trailers. There's lots of stables and things like that. It becomes very reminiscent of what you experienced, the same experience at this the Black Dragon Gate as was at the gate you came into the city, and people are bartering goods on and off of caravans and trailers and things like that. There's a lot of carts that are pulled up on the side of the road, people haggling and bartering for goods. People offloading goods onto like individual backs that people are just carrying goods through in and out of the gate. So that's the kind of thing you get immediately as you kind of enter the Blackgate district. You all start making your way. You will all reconvene at the yard. However, Jove, as you're walking through on your own this district and people are offloading and loading things, there is one half-orc that does spot you and kind of walks in your direction. Different skin tone, though. More of a blue skin tone, a bluish skin tone, as opposed to the green.
Would I be aware of a different tone in this way, sort of a bluish as opposed to a grey or green? Is this very new to me, or is this jog of memory of any kind?
You just know that this is likely someone of one of the northern tribes.
Mm.
You know, the mountainous orcs that roam towards the northern mountains. You know, right towards the northern region of Faerun.
Yeah.
And he kind of, hey. What are you doing?
Carrying my vegetables and finding my friends. What are you up to?
Working. What?
That's cool.
What's your name?
Jove. You?
My name. Varen.
It's good to meet you, Varen.
Is
You're
it?
from up north, ain't you?
Yeah. You're not. What are you doing in these parts?
Traveling up, heading up the road, Waterdeep, I think.
Don't get many of your kind up there.
Don't get many of my kind anywhere.
Yeah, I know. I know. Heard something terrible happened to your kind.
What'd you hear?
But something terrible happened to your kind.
Oh, you're not wrong. So I guess word did travel that high?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We all heard. Figured yourselves out to be dragon hunters, didn't you? Came back and bit you in the ass.
I mean, we're all dragon hunters in some way or another.
Not really. Try frost trolls. A lot easier to take down and meat lasts longer.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you don't want a challenge and you just want to take the easy way in life, sure. Take on a troll or two. Why not?
Yeah, okay. Easy life. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Bye. And he just literally
See you
just
later.
turns on the sixth sense and just walks off after this, like, little bit of, like, vague, insulty rebuttal with you and just kind of like, go. Just fucking just walks off.
What is this? Where is he? Is he walking to a caravan of his own?
No, he doesn't walk into a caravan. He just kind of like walks off into into like this equipage store that's got a couple of carts out the front that are having wheels changed and stuff. He just kind of walks in there.
Jove is more curious than he normally is. He is going to follow just slightly behind just to see what he can glean from a look through the door, just to see if there's more of them, if there's...
I know. It's just him. There are a couple of other individuals in that are working there. There's a furbolg gentleman and also a human man, just kind of the equipage shack that they're in, so to speak.
Yeah.
Full of like rope, bridles, saddles, cart parts, like wheels, axle, that sort of thing for carts.
Sort of looking in and seeing him go back in, he's gonna come to the door and like, hey, why are you so far down from the north?
Just travel, man. I kind of set out a couple of years ago. Tribal life didn't suit me.
But the sunbacks are still going strong, though, yeah?
I don't fucking know. Maybe. Could have been decimated. Really, who gives a
that's
shit?
Well, we should, surely. I mean, it's the clan, it's the family. Why would you not?
Cool. Hope that brings you comfort in the cold nights to come, my friend.
Orcs aren't what I think they are they? It's not quite the,
What do you think they are? We all sit around a campfire every night with painted faces singing "Come by fucking ah." No, we don't do that shit. Some do. But really, what are we? I mean, orcs are feared. We drive fear into the hearts of those that are small. Fuck no, we're barely competent hunters. We're cold most of the winter and we sweat like shit during the summer. We can't cook. We just hunt meat, cook it on a fire, eat meat. Really? Is that like... What? Is that it? What do you want, man? Like, what do you think this life is all about? You think that clan is all, right? The ancient teachings, the ancient ways, we must stay true to our father's teachings. You ever tried
what
to...
else is there if we don't? What do you learn? So what, you just sit here fixing fucking carts your entire life? You don't, aspire to be one of the great hunters, aspire to be something more for the clan, a warrior of any kind?
Do you know what I like, Joe? Flowers.
What is it, Van?
Flowers. You like flowers?
I mean, I don't really think about them.
Well, I do. Roses, dandelions, daffodils, hydrangeas. Just smells, the colors, the beautiful. I want to open my own florist one day. Sell flowers to people. Think I could do that at the clans? Picture this, Joe. I walk in. Hey, tribal leader. You want a rose? What do you think's gonna happen to me?
Like, genuinely, the question has brought this, like, very sudden look across his face. He is genuinely sort of questioning everything. He's meeting more orcs. They're just doing more things as opposed to what he used to do. He's sort of like, he's like holding a little bit of family, like, Yeah, that'll get you killed.
They'll probably get you
Beaten
killed.
up.
Hey, you ever thought about wearing, you know, like lady clothes?
Oh,
Yes!
fuck you. Fuck you.
Yes!
What do you mean, there's lady clothes? Like, there's a difference?
You know, the flowing, nice, rocky things that lady folk wear? You ever thought about how nice that'd be with wind across your knees and pretty you'd look?
He's just, he's just generally staring at the ground, unable to sort of quite comprehend the idea of doing that. He's like, "Yeah, all right, Van. I'll see you later."
Bye,
Good to
Joe.
meet you.
Okay,
Bye,
I
Van.
love him. I love him.
Jove literally goes out, gets his axe, puts his throat on it, pulls his own head.
Not far off the roleplay I was intending. No, he just sort of closes the thing for a second and just, oh man.
Maybe I would like to wear lady frocks.
Yeah, he's genuinely lost. So he just sort of stares for a second, composes, goes, "All right, so we're a lot of different things. Great. Where the fuck was I meant to go? Where is everyone?"
Michael's just staring there, looking at Joe. Like,
So let's kind of get back to Ash and Azrael. You guys will have reached the yard of Akum Celebon. You'll notice that there is two caravans that are currently being loaded in the yard. Phalanx is talking to a gentleman just kind of underneath the canopy of this equipage business. You see that there is all sorts being loaded onto these caravans, but it looks like wares and goods, you know, some fine silks in boxes that are being put on these caravans. Phalanx spots you kind of walking up and goes, "Ashi, how you doing?"
Hi, Fifi. I'm good.
Ashy.
I asked Ashy. Only he gets to call me Ashy. Fifi, this is Azrael.
Hi,
Of
Azrael.
a new edition.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. How you doing?
Fifi. Is
That is not
Phalanx.
my name.
Phalanx.
Nope,
She called you Fifi.
nope. It is Phalanx.
Sorry,
Nope.
Cool.
you people are weird.
What do you mean, you people?
You go
So,
summon your horse or whatever.
so I thought you were bringing your friends, and you've brought.
They're coming. They're getting supplies, which you told us to get.
Oh, okay, okay, good.
They're stocking up. It's okay. I got it. I remember what you said. I told them. So they're prepared. They're stocking up.
Well,
And hopefully not getting arrested.
book me and call me Shirley. You are learning.
You
really have turned a corner, Ashi. Proud of you.
Thanks. I mean, I'm better than I was last time I was here.
You know, this is probably going to stop, but I haven't seen you in a while, so I have like months of like pent up insults that I just feel like I need to like.
Go for it.
Cool. Have you showered today?
No.
And he just kind of like this huge smile comes across his cheeks as he's kind of like staring at you in this like lovingly way, and he's just like, cool. So, we need to leave. As soon as your friends get here, maybe not as soon as, but I'd like to meet them first. And we'll
that's
kind of
fine.
talk through the plan and what we've got to kind of do. Oh, how rude. Akin, this is my friend. Akin, so this is my friend Ash. I've known Ash for quite some time, and Akin, you see that this gentleman is an older gentleman, but quite stocky. You can tell that like his arms are massive, his chest is huge. He's wearing a vest with a like a leather brown apron, kind of tied, and he kind of goes, "You're late."
I know.
Good. And he just turns and just walks off. Doesn't even address you, doesn't say hello, just like... He looks...
Charming.
You can kind of tell just in his facial expression that he's a little bit miffed. As he kind of like walks off. It's kind of at this point, as Jove walks out, kind of bewildered, that Clovis, Feathers, and Michael, you kind of reconvened on the road up out of the Black Gate. But you three spot Jove, and all four, and you all kind of walk up, reconvene at the yard, and that's where we're going to just take a break, guys. And we'll get back to things in a moment. So, before we go to a quick break, for those of you that weren't here at the start, I just want to kind of re-go over a couple of announcements that we're very, very excited about. We have some big things on the horizon for Tales on Tap. 2023 is going to be huge for us. Starting on the 9th of February, we're going to be streaming on Thursdays as well, and we're just going to give you a quick sneak peek of what that looks like. That's right. Tales on Tap are doing Spelljammer.
Woo!
So,
Woohoo!
starting February 9th,
In space.
we're going to do a Spelljammer mini campaign, and from there, Thursday will be a mainstay in our schedule. We're going to go from Spelljammer to talk shows to other TTRPGs. There's going to be a load of stuff. Oh, I've just noticed that you can see my hands beneath the thing. I'm going to change that right now. That's really weird that that's done that. I mean, it is important. It's important to me. There we go. Sorry.
Space.
So Thursdays are going to be a mainstay for us. We're going to be streaming every Tuesday and every Thursday from February 9th onwards. So you're going to get twice as much Tales on Tap content every week. So lots and lots of things in the pipeline. The other big thing that you've probably noticed that the Valkyrie RPG guys and Tales on Tap have gone into partnership long term, so they are going to be sponsoring the show going forward, and they have given us a 10% discount code for you lovely folks. So if you can during the break, head over to the website, check out the stuff at Valkyrie RPG, and if you want to buy some stuff, enter code Tales10. Right guys, we're going to hit a break. We'll be back at, let's say, 8:05. Let's give us 10 minutes. Cool. We'll see you guys. See you guys in a minute. Bye. Hello and welcome back. Thank you very much
Hello.
for sticking with us. Hopefully you've had a chance to go to the toilet and get a drink and all that fun stuff. Let's kick straight back in to action. So, you guys all start walking towards this yard. When I say all, Clovis, Feathers, Jove, and Michael, you start approaching. You see that Ash is talking to a rather short, dwarven-looking fellow, while Azrael is off to one side, ritual casting, summon buddy.
Summon Buddy,
Summon Buddy.
my friend.
As you guys approach, you see that it's quite an open haulage yard. There are 2 caravans, as I described before, and there's around 6 individuals that are packing things into these caravans, as Ash is talking to this individual. What do you want to do?
Okay. We'll rock up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, everything seems to be all squared away.
Okay, everybody get what they need.
I learned how to do things. And you can see she's like almost jumping up and down on her little feet.
Feathers, it's been like an hour. What do you mean?
That's enough time?
Also, why are you not in disguise?
Oh. I kind of like shrink down and I tug on the hat. And I'm back to being the halfling again.
Phalanx, my friends, you've got Feathers, Clovis, Jove,
Hi.
Michael, and that's Azrael.
Pleasure to
We've
make your
heard-
acquaintance. How are we all?
We've heard a great deal about you. Asha has told us you're an incredibly good friend and reliable cohort.
So you lie to your friends, Ashi. That's what you do. you lie to. We barely know each other. To be honest, she accosted me on the streets of Baldur's Gate not an hour ago and asked and paid me, and he pulls out a bag of gold coins, quite a handsome fee.
I
be
bashed
her-
his hand
I
up and I
want-
snatched the pouch of gold.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, I mean you don't need to. He's completely bullshitting.
Okay.
I was wondering where my gold was, and I'm gonna go.
I'm taking it!
I She's also a thief. You shouldn't trust her. She's probably going to get you all killed.
That's
Anyway,
why we,
Towards
that's why we
Feathers.
trust her.
I shrink a little bit.
well, Ashi and I go back some ways. Any friend of hers is a friend of mine. It's a pleasure to meet you all. You all are incredibly late. Timekeeping, I see, is not skills that can rely on. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine because I've
We
taken care of
tried.
things. It's
We
fine.
we were way late, unfortunately. But we're here now.
You are indeed. Do we have everything we need for the road? Because it's going to be a long one. We're heading out as soon as you're ready, because we have 3 days worth of travel to catch up. And yeah, we probably shouldn't talk about this out here. Do you? We should probably. Yeah, and he just kind of spins and just walks into the haulage property building.
Ash kind of just goes to everyone, I think he likes you, and like follows in, like at pace.
Okay.
He must be a good judge of character.
In we go.
As you
I
guys,
was just gonna
sorry,
go for it.
no, go on.
No, sorry. I was just Joe's looks exceptionally despondent at this point. Like he's not really like it's
Oh Christ.
more it's more unhappy than you've seen him like sad rather than just annoyed. It's like yeah, let's get the fuck out of this city. It's awful here.
Jove, is everything okay? I thought you loved buying produce.
It's just learning experiences. I don't like him.
Well, now that you're all here and it's a bit safer, look, let's kind of catch you and get you up to speed. I was sent here some time ago. 3 months, in fact. No, maybe not. 2 months. Maybe a month.
Either way,
Anyway, I've been here for some time. I was sent by our good friends over in the Gauntlet. I was sent here to keep an eye on the comings and goings of larger groups passing through Baldur's Gate. I got word a few days ago that you were heading this way, and that you were coming here to meet Akin, and that you were going to be heading north, and that you were required to gain work or what have you. Not 3 days ago, a large force of individuals came through the city, matching the description of those that we were looking for. There was a group of people that were dressed quite regimentally. They all were adorned in the same sort of clothing, kind of black garbs with silvered, or greyish silvered kind of throws. Lots of them kind of hoods up, and it kind of struck me as odd because there was one individual that passed through that they were guarding. A kind of a carried cart. You know the type. 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and I didn't get much of a look, but what I did see was that there was a purple-skinned dragonborn within. Does that strike as familiar to any of you?
We have come across a few dragonborn in our time. One by the name Duramath, though he was taken care of. Purple, though, I'm not sure we've seen before, unless... Was there any purple dragonborns amongst the group when they killed the dragon? No. Okay.
I did hear them speak to person. I kind of tried to not get too close, but I got close enough as to gather as much intelligence as I could. I think they called her Resmir or something.
Yes. And Clovis sort of pulls his satchel from the side and starts rummaging through a bunch of letters, some of them written by him, some of them written by other people. And he pulls out one of the letters, which I think was orders from someone.
Mm-hmm.
Or a letter to Frulun Mondath.
Yep.
And it details, and I'll say this letter we found in the quarters of one of the cult's mages. Sorry, is it safe to speak now?
Yes, absolutely.
We found amongst the possessions of one of the cult's mages, one Frulun Mondath. It appears to detail the plans to move north, and it was written by Resmir. And I show him the letter.
That'll confirm it. Yeah, that pretty much sums up what's happened over the last couple of days. There have been heavier footfall and movement through the city from the southern gate to the north, and a large pack of caravans set out 3 days ago. Some 20 to 25 caravan deep. It was a larger force. Not that heavily guarded. We're talking six per caravan on foot, so somewhat large, but not overwhelmingly so. No, not army size, but quite large. If you were here 3 days ago, we would have hoped that we would hire you out as bodyguards yourselves, but considering how much time has passed, we must come up with another plan. Now, I do have one, but it would require your help. At no small cost, we have procured 2 caravans and goods to go on them. Now, I will pose as a merchant on one of the caravans, with 2 or 3 of you acting as my bodyguards, with 2 of the hired help out front. Would then mean that I do need one of you to volunteer as to go undercover as a merchant on the other. And we travel in 2 with a small force of 6 to 10 bodyguard or hired help, so to speak, and we make good ground.
Well, I hate to jump the queue in front of anyone else, but I've travelled under such auspices before, so I think I can probably handle it myself.
I've done the same, but as a guard, so happy to stand in that way.
Oh, well, I was going to make you
did
pull the
security
second card,
before.
Ashley, but sure.
I did security for a man coming into Elturel, so I should be fine posing as a hired hand.
Okay, and he kind of looks at you, Joe, and goes, yeah, you kind of look, and looks at you, Feathers, and goes, maybe you could be my traveling minstrel.
That I can do. And I immediately pull out my lute and I start tinkering away on it. I mean, I'm more believable than a bodyguard, let's face it.
Very well, and your friend
Nonsense, Feathers. You're perfectly capable.
Your friend outside would be another hired hand. Very well.
Oh shit! I forgot to bring Azrael in.
I doubt it would have made much difference. He would have been asking questions the whole way anyway.
Very well. I suggest we set out sooner rather than later. Is everyone prepared? Have you got everything? Feel free to put your belongings on either caravan and, well, I would say and suggest to you, sir, that you change, but kind of dressed the part already.
Oh, well, I never pass up an opportunity to play a new role, and I'll just disguise self into kind of mid-40s looking, quite upright and proud looking merchant with a very well trimmed chin strap beard.
Very well.
I like it.
Good. Well, we have an hour or so before we set off, so if there's anything that you would like to do, by all means. Ashley, we should probably catch up in that time.
I was going to say the same.
Got anything to drink?
Nope.
Well, that's not going to go down well for you. And he kind of pulls a bottle of something out of his bag and just takes a swig and walks off with it.
No, I go after him.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing?
Did this hooded or like cloaked goon squad ring any bells in my memory? I know not much does, but
No, unfortunately not, no.
just checking.
How long would it take us to pop back into the upper city?
It's going to take longer than an hour to get to the upper city and back.
Okay, fair enough. Never mind.
Okay. So what are the rest
Were
of
you
you wanting
looking
to
for
do?
something?
I'll look to Feathers and I'll just say, well, I was thinking it might be a good opportunity for us to replenish our coffers, but...
Yes, yeah, that didn't work out well. I wouldn't mind No, that's probably not great either. No, we'll have to do it on the road.
Very well. I'll just kind of find a quiet place, if there's any like tables and chairs, like a little waiting area or something like that. And I'll pop myself down. And I'll use the DeVito family ring to contact my daughter, whose name I've forgotten.
Quinn!
Quinn.
Hey,
I only met her a week ago, right?
Wow!
Holy
Wow!
shit.
Checks out.
Wow!
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Fucking Father of the
Quinn.
Year award. Sure.
Hey man, I was never winning that.
I know. Sure. So you go off and find yourself a quiet little space to start communicating. What do you want to do? Or what do you...
I will just start the sending spell, and I'll just sort of speak into it. I'll say, "Hello, my dear. It's Clovis. How fare your travels? We've arrived in Baldur's Gate, but the road wasn't as smooth as we'd hoped. I hope you're faring better."
Hello. Slow, to answer your question. We're heading south further still. We're coming up to Badusk now. Greenest is only a few more days' travel, but we should get there before.
Well, do be warned, there was a little bit of trouble in Badusk last we passed. The former lord had been unseated. The new governor is one Governor Clenvor. Just in case that might help.
Thank you, that's very good to know. We're trying to stay off the beaten track. Eros is... It's almost like he was built for this. He's taking us through over hills and into dales, through forest as much as he can, keeping us out of sight. He is rather well equipped for this. Sorry, you mentioned to ask at a certain inn when I got to Greenest. I forgot the name.
It's the Neverfell. It's actually partially owned by us. A long story. I'd love to recount it to you one day, but if you ask after... Give me a second. I've got it written down. If you ask after Darlin, tell him the heroes of Greenest send their regards.
Very well. Please stay safe. The roads are more dangerous now than they ever have been.
I'll do my best. I'm sorry it took me so long to reach out again. I wanted to give you time.
Don't worry. I miss you too.
And are you? I won't be long. I hope.
You don't get a response.
No, I'll just sort of kick back and start reading through my little pamphlets of alchemy stuff that I've got.
Okay. So this is
Just
kind
like,
of
just the assembly instructions.
yeah. So it's kind of like you open the first page, and it's a book. It's not pamphlet sized. It is quite a lengthy book. And the first page you open is Alchemy 101. And then it kind of like,
alchemy.
do you know what I mean? Alchemy is the, and you kind of like reading through it going,
I stop reading it at that point and
Yeah.
start people watching.
Okay, that's cool. Feathers, what are you doing?
While he's been talking, I'm actually just going to prop myself up near the entrance to this building that we're in, and I am watching out for a couple of things. I'm watching out for guards that are looking for someone. I'm also looking for people that I recognize.
Okay, no problem.
So-
Maybe well, I'll use your passive for this, unless you're actually actively looking for these sorts of things. If so, make me a perception check.
No, I'm kind of keeping an eye out rather
Yeah,
than
that's fine.
searching the crowd. Yeah.
Okay, cool, no problem. Asriel.
Whilst reviewing some of the pages that I have in my book, I'll quickly shout back to Quidjeth and be like, by the way, I got that wrong. Clenvor's the one that died. It's actually it's actually Keldath, who is the new governor of Paragost. Anyway, have a lovely time. Bye.
Okay, Asriel, 10 minutes or so pass, and your fabled buddy reappears in front of you, looking quite pissed off, kind of like,
In the face.
They said we'd not allowed horses. Bring. I got you these. I start taking out apples from my little from my bag and start trying to coax Buddy into a better mood with.
he kind of looks pissed off, takes the first one out of your hand, looks at you, just goes and drops it onto the floor. And just doesn't stop staring at you. Like, he's fuming, man. Like, he's just
Sassy.
like, he's just really upset 'cause he's like, fine. After a moment or two, he kind of realizes that he is actually hungry and like bends down, eats it, but kind of like looks like fuck. Eats it, but you kind of coax him back around to being okay.
Look, buddy, I know I know you don't like it, but I'm with these new people, and sometimes until we get to know each other, you got to play by their rules. We're heading north now. We're heading home.
Kind of like nuzzles his head into yours a little bit and like lets you stroke him and stuff.
And that's what I'm basically trying to get Buddy into a better mood until everyone's ready to go.
Okay, no problem. Michael, what are you doing?
Michael's just plopped down wherever he can and starts looking at different potions and looking at the people that he's just gotten to know. And then he walks up, approaches Joe, and goes, I feel like if things were to go down, you would probably have more use for this than some of the others would. I feel like you're more in a frontline fighter than most of us. Here, take this. It's not much, but it's the best I could barter for. Out of interest, which of your friends does usually get the most hurt in situations where combat arises?
Me, because I'm usually in the front instead of
Fine.
those guys.
And out of the others?
Ash probably, because she gets in with her fists instead of
Right.
So me and Ash in the front.
You and Ash. Okay. Well, take two then.
Well, I mean, Azrael is probably gonna get up there as well. Don't want him
Very
to, but
true.
sure. And you have a sword, so you'll be up the front as well, right?
Yeah, but I already have some. I've been traveling alone for a while, so I managed to stock up on some things.
Yeah, but you're still going to be fighting in the front with us, though, right?
Yeah, of course.
Then you should. I'm a sturdy fella, and honestly, I would probably just end up breaking these things. Ash is a way better person to hold on to stuff that requires
Well, at least take
that kind of thing.
And for emergency cases, if you go down, we can always run to you, help you, get you back on your feet.
I don't go down, but it's nice you care.
Well, you never know. And I'll walk off and I'll go towards Azrael outside and be like, how quick are you with your catching things? Actually, you know what? Never mind. And I'll go and plop one of the health potions into your hand.
You see him like talking to this horse, as if the horse can understand him.
Buddy, was it?
Buddy, yeah. This is Buddy.
Hi, Buddy. Michael. I'm not sure if we met yet, but
He can understand.
right. Right. Take that, and that's for you. I need to go find other people. And he's just going to keep walking around, giving one to Ash when she comes back because she's away with Fifi. And then one to Feathers. And I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
One to Clovis as well. And yeah.
Okay, so
I already have one. I don't need this potion. You can give it for yourself.
Thank you, Michael. I'm very appreciative of it.
No worries. And you should get one for this.
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah, but it never hurts having another one. I don't want to see you full of a beam again.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. And he walks back and he sits down and starts solving his Sudoku.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No problem. Starts working his way through the first page or so of his puzzle book. No problem. Ash
Yes.
and Phalanx.
Yes.
He kind of like walks outside and just continues walking, but like at a slow pace. Takes a couple more swigs of his drink and just kind of. Well. So, you been?
So a lot's happened, to say the least. Obviously, you now know about me and this group through the gauntlets, and I told you last time that the gauntlet seemed like an organizational structure that was built on just testosterone. Sorry, I may have judged too quickly. Thor's quite nice.
Right? And I remember, listen, I remember what you said. I remember how you said it. In fact, I more remember how you said it than what you actually said. But I get it. I get it. You were jealous. You wanted to join. You couldn't. They found that you were too, kind of irrational at times with... It's fine. It's fine. I'm glad that you've seen the light. Glad that...
I don't want to join your stupid order. I was just giving it some credit.
There she is.
I've missed you.
I've missed you too. Are you okay? Your arm looks
But-
fucked.
It's that's part of the story. I was searching for information about just kind of stuff.
Oh,
went to
this. Yeah.
Candlekeep.
Yeah.
Candlekeep.
Okay.
And then these guys were in possession of the thing I was looking for, and so I kind of tagged along, and literally that day ended up in Celestia.
Shit.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to end up.
And then-
I thought you were going to kind of end up there one way or another, but not quite this soon.
I mean, you did say that you thought I was going to be dead when you first caught a glimpse of me when I went to town, so...
It's purely because I wasn't there, and if I'm not there and I couldn't protect you, or like, you know, step in when things get really bad, then you're likely probably going to come to your own demise. But that's fine. You've not. I'm proud of you for not doing that, by the way. But your arm looks really...
Thanks.
Also, how have you done that? And he kind of like points to Apathy.
I was trying to, the guy who was summoning his horse,
Vaguely. Oh, yeah.
Azrael.
Yeah. And he legitimately goes, whack.
He was in a bit of trouble, and so I was like, I'm going to help him, and it did not go to plan, and I managed to break my staff, and I will take it. And now, so you know that I got this last time we were here.
Yeah,
We don't need
said,
to.
Yeah, you said that you paid over the odds for... Oh, no. I said you paid over the odds for it.
Well, yes, but it's proven itself. It's proven itself. There's magical properties in it.
Give it here. And he literally, like, hands you the bottle of whatever he was drinking, takes your staff and starts casting a spell on it. And he casts Mending on your staff.
Thank you.
Goes,
Thank you very much.
there you go. Try not to hit your friends with it again.
Thank you. No guarantees. Question. Is this route taking us through Waterdeep?
Answer? Yes.
Fuck. Okay.
Why?
So you know how I said, you know how I came into the money to get this?
Yes. I specifically remember telling you that was a bad idea as well.
And you remember Caleb?
No? Oh, yeah?
old thing. What if he's still there?
Then you're fucked.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Good to know.
But
No,
hey,
this is on
look,
me.
Ashy, at least you'll go out swinging, and for a good cause this time.
True.
I'll sing a song. I'll sing a song about you. I'll get your friends to actually play the song, and
I was going
I'll
to say,
sing.
can we get feathers to? Okay. Not that your voice isn't amazing, or sounding like a cat screeching, but
I don't think that's
she's
very.
pretty good.
I don't think that's very nice.
No, I know. Did I hurt your feelings?
I don't have feet. So,
Easy.
listen, this trip is not going to be easy. I didn't really want to say much in front of your friends, but like this is not going to be an easy venture. It's 250 miles. Or no, or is it shorter? I can't remember. It's a long way. 700 miles? I can't
I
remember.
think you said 750. What did you say?
750. Oh, I know what I've said. I'm trying to roleplay and having a bit of a drink and
Cool.
feigning that he doesn't remember. I think that things could go badly. Things could go very, very badly. Now I'm still able. I can still hold my own in a fight. That's not an issue. And my fear is that until this is done, that is exactly what's going to happen. Is probably end up in a fight.
I know, but what I will say is I don't know much about the new guys, but they can hold their own. They're skilled.
Well, that's good. We have some reconnaissance to do while we're there. We need to catch up with them. We need to find out where they're going and what their plans are. But there's a lot of them, Ashy, and you're only 6 people. Well, we're 7.
I know. We need to do this carefully. We can't just go in.
No,
Guns blazing.
we can't.
What's
As
a
much
gun?
as
Swords.
Listen, I really wish you hadn't have got caught up in all this. And I mean that sincerely. Not that you can't handle yourself, Ashley, but if something were to happen to you, well, I don't think I'd be quite the same again.
Phalanx, you were the first proper friend I've ever made. I am not going to go anywhere. I'm also not going to be a sap on you, so that's the only time I'm going to say that. But I feel like I was going to end up in this one way or other. Everything that's happening to me and some other stuff seems to be pointing me in a certain direction. You know, I don't believe in fate or anything like that, but at the moment, it's the fate sirens are going off, and it's like something's predestined or something's happening, and now I've been asked by a god to help with all this. So there's no getting out at this point. May as well see it through.
True. Well, just be careful, okay?
I'll try.
Well, we best be getting back. We've got a long road ahead of us.
Aye. All right, let's go.
Having some minor camera difficulties here, guys. I'll be back with you in a moment. I haven't exploded into a green mess. I am still here.
He is not angry.
Yeah, I've gone Hulk mode.
So as they start walking back, for the sake of brevity, you guys spend an hour or so getting yourselves ready for the journey ahead. The caravans are packed with various wares, silks and fabrics, clothing and such in one, and what appears to be just sealed boxes in another. Phalanx goes and gets changed into more mercantile type hire, but placing his belongings in the caravan, and you set off.
On the road again.
Set off north. So, this is quite a long stretch of travel, so I just want to be transparent with how...
Oh
Sorry.
God!
I know.
Jump scare.
So, there will be periods where we will just be playing this as skill checks, and there'll be... I'll say, okay, guys, what's gonna do you want to do within this week? And periods of time will be fast forwarding in those sorts of increments over the space of, say, 6 to 10 sessions or so. So there will be periods where, weeks will go by, but we will get through it. And then there'll be times where there'll be 2 or 3 sessions where it'll just be in the space of an afternoon. So just to make you aware. So the first part of this journey is your first couple of days. Who is in charge of the carts? Because you're going to have to make hard ground for at least 5 days and cover a lot of ground to try and catch up with the caravan. It will take you roughly 4 to 5 days of hard riding.
I don't think I'm too well skilled for something like that. I can play the part, but I can't. I can talk the talk. I just can't walk the walk. So I'll let someone else.
Can't hear you, Dan. Sorry, you're either muted or.
There we go.
There you go.
Who's on what cart? How have we split the thing? Because Felix was in one and we were in the others. Who's where?
So Clovis will be in the other cart.
Mm-hmm. So who's going with who?
I'm with Felix.
Okay.
I can go with Clovis.
I'll go with Clovis as well then.
Okay, leaving Ash and Azrael to go with Phalanx.
On buddy. I've got a horse, so I don't need a fucking
Yeah,
cart.
but it's a big caravan. It's not a cart.
And also
you're amongst
we
it.
need someone to drive it.
Yeah.
So if you're good with animals, then or carts or whatever the skill is.
Land vehicles, I think.
Would it be possible to strap Buddy to the caravan?
Side of the cart.
Yeah.
Just on the roof
You
rack.
can. I mean, this is a perfect. This is a perfect opportunity to make ground by attaching Buddy, who is essentially another horse, to the 2 that are pulling the caravan in the first place.
Yeah, let's do that.
Right, and I'm presuming Buddy is with Clovis. No, sorry, Banff is with Clovis.
Yeah, of course. Banff's do. I mean, we don't really mention Banff, but please just be aware that anywhere Clovis goes, Banff goes.
Fuck's sake.
Can we strap Bump to the caravan?
I mean, if you wanted to, you could, yeah. But
That's so mean.
and again, Zayla is flying above with, always kind of either on Jove's shoulders or circling above.
Shit, I should have gone to a pet shop.
That's at home.
So how are we splitting this out, and how are you going to be doing this? So let's do the first day's travel.
So I mean, I'll be in charge of driving the cart. Then if Clovis is posing as the merchant, I will be the driver.
Okay, with Michael being the hired guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Driver/guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Both.
yeah.
Azrael, you're going to take charge of the second cart.
If
I
that's the
think
one
you're
we're
going to have a
we're
better.
strapping Buddy to, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, first 3 days of travel. Gave you guys long rest in a moment, but I need Jove, I need you to make me 3 animal handling checks, and Azrael, I need you to make me 3 animal handling checks as well.
Guidance.
I also need Michael and Feathers to make me survival checks, please.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a 15, a 14, and a 12 on the animal handling.
Okay, no problem. Azrael?
30-20 for the first one with
Yep.
guidance.
Yep.
Let's go.
A 17 for the second one.
Yep.
And a natural 20 for a 22 on the third one.
Ooh.
Okay. Feathers, survival check, please.
Just the one.
Mm-hmm.
119.
And Michael, the same as well, please.
Oh, was it just the one? Okay, I rolled 3 of them, but they are all the same number, so it's all 21, all of 3.
Okay.
No way. That's crazy.
Okay, so you cover some decent ground. What do you guys want to do during this period? You're going to be covering a lot of ground. You don't seem to stray too far. You stick on the right path, and you cover some decent ground in the 3 days. But you have 3 days worth of downtime, so to speak. What do you want to do?
Okay.
So I'll go around. So Clovis, in the 3 days, what do you want to be doing?
In the 3 days before we reach the caravan, I am going to be reading at length, if Ash will give it back to me, the tome that we stole from Candlekeep. Because I don't think we've really spent a good amount of time digging right into it.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend those 3 days because I don't want to get it out if we had managed to catch up. So I'm going to use those 3 days where we're not with the cult caravan to review in depth and
Okay.
do as much research.
So I'll have
Transcribing any passages that I find relevant and stuff like that.
Yeah, no problem. So what I'm going to need from you is 3 consecutive intelligence checks. Let's start with the first one.
Go. Okay. I wonder if there's any spells I can cast to enhance this. No.
Ah, yes,
Okay.
conjure intelligence.
Yeah. Yeah. Conjure brain.
If
I
only-
cast Read Well.
Okay.
Well, that'd be a great cantrip.
Oh, so the first one's a 14.
Okay, so you pass your first check. Second one.
Second one, I'm going to re-roll with my inspiration.
Okay.
And it's another 14.
Okay, so you pass your second one and your third one.
Oh, fucking 19.
19. Okay, so that's 3 successful skill checks in order to digest this information.
Uh-huh.
We will be here till 10 o'clock if I give you all the information that is in that
you
book.
you can hand that over to me between sessions.
I will do that before next week as to everything you learn.
You see, Clovis, you light up. Eureka! I have the answer!
It wasn't about
Nice.
dragons after all! It's about a man called Dragon!
It was Batman. And also, sorry, before we actually left, I would have given Ash her herbalism kit.
Okay, no problem in the book, the accompanying book.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
And swapped for the tome.
No problem. Feathers, what are you doing during this time?
I am spending the time focusing on my loot, seeing what exactly I can do with it. So testing out different things, sort of really getting to know it and what I can do.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So it won't require any further skill check because you are becoming proficient, and at this point you are gaining that proficiency. So that's fine. You do spend a lot of time just kind of honing your skills as a newly found bard. New things
Let's go.
incoming next week. New overlays and funky stuff next week.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Anything else that you want to do in the 3 days?
Oh, a question that has been bugging me. Who is also on the cart with me?
Me.
I will turn at one point and ask her what colour my eyes are.
Ah. What colour are her eyes?
Because
Her
that's been
eyes.
annoying me.
Her eyes, one is blue, and one is still that deep purple colour.
Okay.
Hold it.
Okay.
The same.
That annoys Feathers a lot. She gets grumpy for the rest of that day. Moodier music, a bit of emo coming
Yeah,
out, you know.
Come as you are, as a known enemy. Oh yeah.
That's right.
Okay, cool. No problem. Jove. during this time. I know you are steering the cart, but you will have some downtime during the evenings and such if you want to do anything. So what is it you'd like to do?
So, seeing as oh shit, I needed that. That's really gone far away as well.
I heard that wrong for ages.
I can come back to you if you want to disappear across your kitchen for a second.
I just need to get my dice back.
Okay. Okay, if that's the case, Ash, what are you going to be doing?
So Ash on day 1 is kind of gonna get the bag of holding out and start doing a full inventory, asking Feathers everything she saw like a veto ever like use, and check if it's like in there. Mainly because you hinted at a particular book being in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if Feathers mentions, oh, we had this book he used to check on, she'd kind of reach in and try and find the herbalism book.
Find it. And it's similar to, here's some pop culture shit for you. It's similar to how, you know, in Harry Potter, the Half-Blood Prince, when he finds the potion book that Snape had, and it's got like all the fucking notes in it, where it's like, cut, you know, instead of cutting the beans, squish the beans to release more juice, shit like that. So it's pretty much very similar book to what you have, but it has all the fucking cheat sheets in. Like it's all been written in like fine ink to give you like, you know, bits that are like scratched out to kind of give you a bit of a head start. Because you now have that book, you will automatically pass your first skill check by having that.
Awesome.
It is a cheat sheet. However, you still have 4 skill checks and you have to get the higher DC ones, so that's fine.
Yeah. And then so after she kind of like got that, she's gonna be spending kind of the rest of the time either catching up with Phalanx or reading it, and kind of during the evenings while it's still a little bit light, I'm gonna just scan around and see if she can start identifying various herbs and stuff like that, because she's kind of thinking that she seems to be the one to occasionally like boost out some healing, so if she can have some other things to help that.
Okay.
Or just be the mule for health potions zipping around the battlefield, then that might be useful. Yeah.
Sure. So I need a couple of checks then. So I need 2 intelligence checks, please. You're learning a new skill. It has to be intelligence.
But it's a wisdom-based skill. 9.
Okay. So that's a fail.
10.
That's a pass. So you pass. So I need you guys to be keeping track of how many skill tests you pass and what, because I may not have a note of that going forward. And if you pull me up again in about a month going, I want to do another skill check, I'll be like, oh, well, fucking.
You have forgotten everything I have forgotten.
Exactly. And then for the 3 nights where you are stopped and you want to kind of look around the camp, I need 3 consecutive nature checks, please.
That's really... Fuck, that's intelligence as well.
It's weird. It's weird that for a herbalist kit, you need a nature check to find them.
I thought you'd do, like, survival. It's a 4 and a 2.
Oh, one more. One more, please.
12.
Don't fucking sulk, man. You chose this fucking skill, dude. Okay, I'm gonna
Not either. I was like, I can do that.
Okay, so I need you to write these things down. Probably best having a separate document for all your ingredients so that you can keep track of them. You find
2 seconds. Done. Go.
Okay, so you find some buckwheat.
Sure.
You find some catnip.
Nice.
Catnip.
Yep. You find some foxglove.
Mhm.
And you find some knotweed.
Cool.
It's not weed.
You
I
find
pick it
some.
up, I look it up, and
yeah.
it's like, I'm like, fuck.
You find some.
We'll see about that.
Definitely not weed. Okay. Cool. Anything else from you, Ash?
No, I don't
No?
think so.
Okay, Jove.
Cool. Now I could actually roll things again. Seeing as Clovis is digging into a book, he sort of thinks to himself for a second, rummages around with his own, and then goes, "Oh yeah, I had that. That might help." And I'm going to start looking at the Tome of Clear Thoughts.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and get at least halfway through. So a good 24 hours-ish of reading in 3 days.
Okay. So I'm
This is
going
so
to.
stressful.
I know. I'm going to need you to roll me some checks for.
Obviously.
I had assumed.
So I need intelligence checks.
Yep.
You just we're not smart.
Well, I mean, speak for yourself.
Yeah,
You're
you're
already
fine.
the smartest one.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
So this heavy book contains instruction on improving memory and logic. What's entwined within the words is powerful magic effect. If anyone reads this book, which takes a total of 48 hours over a minimum of 6 days, they gain a boost from 1 to 5 to their intelligence score. It will only improve your intelligence by +1.
Will it? Okay. It says +2 in the thing I've got.
Oh,
on
does
my
it?
sheet,
Oh, well,
so I
then
didn't
plus
know.
2.
Score increases by 2, so your modifier increases by
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. That's still cool.
Okay, so you read for so over 3 days. You're going to You want to read 24 hours worth of book in 3 nights, as well as doing 8 hours of hard travel.
I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to read 24 hours. I don't know how you're supposed to read 48 hours in 6 days and not. The math doesn't quite.
Minimum.
What you do
It's
is
eight
you do
hours
what-
a day.
Yeah, 8 hours a day. But so last time, so in the previous campaign, Ash had the Tome of Understanding and literally took 2 levels of exhaustion. So she read throughout the night on 2 nights to get it in.
So if you're going to be doing that over 3 days, I would say you're probably going to read. You're going to be gaining exhaustion is the thing. Because you're traveling because your normal adventuring day is 8 hours and you're going to be traveling for 8 hours. I would say you've probably got, other than eating, you've probably got between 3 hours, well, it's maybe 3-4 hours a day, which gives you.
I could also switch with him during the days in that case. Like if I see him stuck in a book, I could also switch and take the reins.
Okay,
I mean,
sure.
It's weird to see Jove in a book, but like the rain is slowly starting to like move on ways. Like,
yeah, it's just
what the fuck does that say? It's like one hand on the wheel. The horse is starting to like. Veer.
Okay, that's fine then. So with the clear thought, you don't need skill checks because you are just reading to improve your skills. So that's fine. Doesn't require a skill check. Just mark down 18 hours.
18 hours
is the most. You can't do 24 in 3 days without literally. So I'll say 18. Given the breaks where you're swapping with Michael and just picking that book up. So 18 of 48 in 3 days. You've got 3 days to get the rest in.
So I've got to do. Yeah, no, I've got to do 10 hours of reading a day. Or just one full day.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll think about what I'm going to do.
Okay. The only other way of doing it is you could get 30 hours done, but Michael will have to take control of the cart the entire way for these 3 days and get 30 hours out of it.
We'll figure out how to do this, but I'm not leaving this book. So yeah, I'll get exhaustion. I'll do whatever I need to do to read this. Jove will push himself to the brink of death to understand words.
I will do this.
Literally learned the word salt today.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, no problem.
The hungry caterpillar.
Nosebleed.
Nosebleed.
Hungry caterpillar. Right, so Michael, what are you doing with your downtime?
Well, wherever I can, I'll pick up the reins of the horse, and then through the rest of the time, I'm just going to be writing in my journal everything that I've experienced so far, and thoughts and theories And yeah, that's probably about it.
Okay, no problem. Azrael.
So other than driving this cart, I'm going to try first taking out the map I have in my
Yep.
jacket pocket. So try and work out where we are.
Okay.
Realizing that's no good. I'm going to take out the map, the Wayfair map.
The Wayfinder's
try
map.
The Wayfinder's map, and try and work out where we are on that, but still not getting very far.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big fucking map, and it's kind of like ye old googly mappies. It's
Yeah.
you know, it's like,
Googling Matthews.
do you know what I mean? It's not. It's like ye
Yeah.
old googly mappy. Like it's not. It's pretty similar. So like when you open it, you can see icons on it, and you see within a certain radius. I believe it's like 10 miles from where you are or something. I need to pick the item up and I'll put it. But once you kind of do that, it kind of shows you like landmarks and things within that parameter. It is the full map, but it kind of only gives you detail, and that detail just kind of moves as you move around the map. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Things near me.
Pretty much, yeah.
So he's just going to try
Next
and,
left.
Tom?
from where he's trying to work out how far they're moving in a day and how roughly how many days it would take to get to, say, Waterdeep or
Okay.
Neverwinter.
Fine. You spend some time doing that. You reckon that you're doing around 15 miles a day.
Yeah.
You are working out that it's approximately 750 miles, or you've already been told it's 750 miles to Waterdeep from Baldur's Gate, and you were given a rough approximate that at that speed it's going to take you 2 months
Okay.
of travel. 3 days pass. You get to mid-morning on the 4th day. Weather has been forgiving. Only brief instances of downpour. But on this particular morning, there are clear skies, and the weather is fair. The sun beating down on you, the cool breeze whistling through the caravan, through the open windows to get the air through. You travel for some time on the 4th day until roughly mid-morning. For those of you that are familiar with this area, find it up.
Down on a map.
Trying to get it. Reading notes. Reading notes. Reading notes. Not done that for a while.
Who needs notes?
Just winging it.
Indeed is right.
There is also, I do have.
Just bullshit. He's loading a map full of monsters for us to ambush us. We know.
I have cart music, man. That's what I was doing as well. As you get to that particular area, you've come towards the Fields of the Dead. For those of you that know this area, it is rife with monsters. It's often common knowledge that during the evenings, if you find yourself on a hill in this area, it is advised to not light campfires or draw any light source, because monsters and evil things will find the light and be attracted to it. You guys crest the hill of a particular Sorry, you crest a particular hill as you're along this route. And on the horizon, you catch your first glimpse of the travelling caravans. You've made good time, and you've made good speed until this point. Continue on throughout the rest of the midday sun into the early afternoon until you are within sight of the rear guard caravan. And I know it's a short session, but that's where we're going to end things tonight.
Okay.
I know it's a little short, but
No, that's fine.
there are reasons for that.
Makes sense to stop, and that's fair enough.
And does somebody want to find me a D&D channel to raid, please?
Oh yeah. Have you got any suggestions in the chat? That's
Yeah, guys in chat, if you've got any suggestions as to a channel that you want us to drop you guys into, please stick
Dirty
around.
Rollers, you streaming tonight?
Let's have a look.
D20 by the sword is
Are they on?
live, yeah.
Hey, let's go see those guys.
Let's do that.
Oh, and Dirty Rollers will be on later.
Dirty
Yeah,
Rollers
right
will be on
now.
later. Okay, cool, no problem.
Ruined Keep is also available.
Let's drop into
Thank you for
D20 by
joining
the
us,
sword.
everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so tonight has
Remember
been...
Tails 10 at checkout on Valkyrie RPG.
And if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link it to your Twitch channel and gift a free Amazon Prime subscription to a channel of your choice. I hope it's us. If it's not, never mind.
Guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you guys stopping in. Let's stay with us. We're going to go and jump into D20 by the sword. Bang some massive hype in there. Tell them that you're coming from Tales on Tap. Show some love and support. And stick around. These guys are really cool, man. They do some really cool things. And
Indeed.
Yeah.
we shall see you guys next week. Bye.
Next
Peace.
See you next week, guys. Bye. Bye.